Nico United bele gore ebile you are away from home despite having all these problems along the way. It was more like a 6-pointer. Really bile ha ba leng teng re ba gauge gore Nico United le yone Holy Ghost ke bankane season e in terms of how we are relegation battle. So it was a huge win. Like I said, the first time ba win a game is a legitimate goal. God, la bofelo ba fenya ba ne ba betsa Police 11 ka side netting. So it's a huge boost. And then ke na kwa gore ba bankanye sengwe le sengwe mo ntlong ya bone and move ahead ba khone go tsamantse ba collect the points ka gore season it's very very tough ga o ka la thoko semamangwe tsa di-points mo go semamangwe tsa di-points mo go semamma. So loko ha we le ba yana ya go bontsha gore ga ise ipale sentela gore mang o tuela ka. I think wa go bontsha la gore it's unpredictable at this point in time. But how I know how Holy Ghost to libile ni kwa no hata sana wa khona bona re di team tse dingwe tse di ka bonya di a pika no kante lo ipikala gona le gepe e ntsi thata we gore la gore after ra Christmasing tiro ya go nna ntsi ela thata gore khone go rofenya metshameko o tlhomaganyetsa and it's not gonna be easy.
Right. It's not going to be easy. Motsila Humpeko Kako Francistown is number 3 versus number 4. Both teams, they have 15 points, KK. And Ulebela Sapasa Machimiyenga. I mean, the way they have performed until now, Motagari, it has been a phenomenal run for them.
It has been a beautiful run for TAFIC. I think how it's a hello level like Haba Palaminka, then they showed the Horboneto Tabatlama Badirayang, Habaleko Fest, the Bapalami, and from the get-go, you could see Helagore selling or the Filu Asidiraka Timia, TAFIC, Kisong selling or Latama, Risi Tumela Tata, Lekako Notheka Batama Baitumela. They have a team who is at the top 4. Look at where the team is usually kana ko ebedile ko top 4 your Rapa United, Khabayo Khone Hale, your Joining Galaxy, yeah, basantsa ba busy bana le di game tse leng gore basantsa batla di tshameka di saletse ko morago. But it's a good thing for TAFIC gore bone metshameko ya bone ba tsa one game at a time. They make sure that they ha ba khona nteng collect maximum points. Ha le gore it's a tougher battle, at least get a positive result from that game. So they understand that now they need to have that gap going into the next weekend there and BDF 11 and positive results from BDF 11. 3 points at home from BDF.
You look at both teams, you know, the run, Mutagari head-to-head, Yabone, BDF 11 versus TAFIC. Honestly speaking, how we live last Tapasa BDF 11 have been having an upper hand, most of them match Minyenga. Last time they played in Elegangwa 2020, Tapasa BDF 11, Bani Bafenya TAFIC Jalo 5-1. Before that, BDF 11, Fenya TAFIC 3-1, Baki Leba Fenya 3-1, Rapasa Pasa BDF 11. The best result, TAFIC Kilenya. It was a draw against the Sapasama Tebel, and that was in 2017. Can the field turn the tables? Can he turn things around this afternoon, Benny?
Yes, he can turn the tables around. You know, today TAFIC Football Club are not playing history; they'll be playing BDF 11. So, if you look at the field tactically, you would understand what Mugemi Yarumpeno. I think sometimes in football, we tend to, you can give credit to visible success, like your trophy cabinet. And then there's invisible success. Invisible success, I'm talking about, you know, the Philly last season, we had all go steal, one would say, I'm one of those people when I get that dead and buried, they're gone. It's no way, second round, and then all of a sudden, he started collecting points, consistency for Holy Ghost. Because to be honest, they performed a miracle. And you have to give credit to Philemon Makongo. It's such a short period of time. At a squad is say, le mo di game tse dingwe ne re gore Holy Ghost tactically will change there and they will get results. Now he comes to TAFIC, he does something. He changes a little bit tactically. go tsosa Chivese e le gore na le go swa Flamingos now o kgonne go matela position mo systeming ya gago ya team ya gago gore a kgone go flourisha, and you can see gore yaanong TAFIC Football Club they are playing like they are playing like they've been in the Premier League last season. O ka re ga se gone ka ntseng ba promotiwa, so go mo ka bone is going to play a major role in today's results. So BDF 11 can look at that be na moral booster gore no re nna hela re inela hela mo TAFIC looking at those results me hela mo tsatsing la gompieno ko Francistown ba itse team tse dingwe ba ke tsa re BDF iponetse gore tsene di belatela TAFIC gone ko Francistown. I know gore ne ntse ba tshameka ko Obed Itani Chilume Stadium mehela how ya Francistown wa itse gore you are up for it. It's not going to be an easy game. Ba go leka go dirisa home ground advantage.
Right, live pictures from Francistown Council Stadium. Ke go leng gore motshameko o tshamekelwa teng ntshekolo ya tsitsela gompeko stapa so sa match minyenga o ba bona jalo doing the warm up. KK, you look at the last 5 games stapa sa TAFIC. They went to Soa, they managed to beat Swa Flamingos 2-1. Before that, Bane Bafanya Stapasa Nico United. Bafanya Nico United 3-1. Bafenza Systems 2-1. Bafenza Hela Kema Sitauka 1-0. Pelehamo Mane Bafenza Stapasa Muruple 3-1. And it is a side yellow hore. They can score goals.
Yeah, they can score goals, and looking at the stats and they are super hela hore. There's something that the field needs to work on. Every game he's conceding. So ke sengwe se eleng gore na go dira tiro thata mo go ene because of team like Soe khona re no sepeli. Now you have to come back from behind a bonus 2. So if they can just try and work on that defense hela gore ba leke gore ba ska iphitlhela ba nosiwa every game ba khona gore at least go 2 or 3 games with a clean sheet. I think for the goalkeeper and his defense ke sengwe se eleng gore go mo slatsa mase se le ka gore ba se ba busetse moralo wa bone gore le bone ba itse gore they are doing their part in the team. But offensively, this is what you want to see. A team like TAFIC it created the chance and actually utilize the chances and I think BDF 11 they are able to create chances, they are able to score goals. The only game no mistake 1-0. So you look at all the other results that 3.
I mean, 4 wins out of your 5 games.
Yeah, I think BDF 11 they'll be very concerned they're coming up against a team that enjoys being on the front foot, that enjoys scoring goals every game. Now BDF 11 adapt into those situations. They're away from home. Now what can they do to make sure that they're getting all those goals and get the 3 points eventually?
Right, let's hear from the TAFIC head coach, Philemon Maukengwe.
Have been very hectic. We prepared under pressure because we didn't play well in the last game. But otherwise, all is well. I have a full squad.
You've made 2 changes to your starting lineup. Let's talk about those.
Yes, I don't have a Tabiso Vante because of an injury, so I put in jersey number 4, Modipe. I made another change. Jersey 8 is not in. Azande is traveling back to DRC. So I have Kabeti Tiago in the midfield, jersey number 25. So all is well.
You face BDF today. Your approach, what is it going to be?
No, we're taking the game to them. We don't have this issue of trying to study our opponents. We don't have that time. We're just taking the game to them. They'll bring the game back to us. It's a seesaw game. We know what they are. They have not been scoring much. I know they are not pushovers. But comparing our records to theirs in terms of scoring, we've been scoring better than them. We've been up to about 3-1s, 3-1s, 2-1s, and they have been scoring 1-1-1-1. I think it speaks in high volumes pertaining to their defense. They must be a very solid defending team.
Coach, thank you very much for your comments and all the best for the game.
Thank you so much.
Ele mokatisi wa stapasa TAFIC ke bua jalo ka Philemon Maukengwe ga tlasa se le gore re ka se solohela mo go ene kana le stapasa gagwe tshokologa tsetsela go mpeko ga bana jalo bante we leng gore he has been on a run, he has been scoring goals for them. Stapasa ne sa TAFIC Benny is one player we leng gore surely, I mean, they always say one man down, one man up, but But you know, if you have the kind of a player le gore o tshwana le banto e leng gore nna ntse go no setsa mo metshamekong ya go e hitileng, somewhere somehow you're going to miss that player.
Yeah, you're going to miss that player, but when you create a culture mo stopeng sa go ya gore o khone gore o nne o involve everybody mo di gaming as much as you can, o balance the minutes and everybody understands ka some ka teng gore nako ele change information ha o tsenya semama ba itse gore o itse go irang. I don't think it can be an issue. They've spread the goals. They still have Lokoro e leng gore le ene ke mongwe wa batho e leng gore he does contribute ka dinno ne ntse ke bua ka Chives e leng gore le ene ke mongwe wa batho e leng gore season e for TAFIC he's already scored 4 goals. He's amongst the top goal scorers mo leaking all round. So I think go bontsha la gore bonela ka bantseng ka teng like the tactical approach e leng gore Tafili goes into the games ya go bontsha gore is rejuvenated di players tse dingwe, and also e khanya gore TAFIC ga ba tshameka le team they are not necessarily conservative or most of the time ja ka utwa mafoko a go gompieno buile gore ene he doesn't gore gana na kwa go simolare I'm trying to adapt to my opposition. It's all about taking the game to my opposition and score. So it's not a surprise we consider one totally ba consider mo game tsa bone tsote me hela se se go thoka ke goreng ba khone go fenya most of those games. So you can see approach ya TAFIC gore ke re iphitlhela highland ting mo lokong season exceeding expectations.
And the bravery from the Filagua Horbanel Havana Kwe, let's study how they are playing. The first 10 minutes, let's see what's happening. You know, the approach by Dumelan and dressing room. It is what they are taking to the field.
Yeah, and I think the Phil is an experienced coach. That's why I want bravely I want to go hela gore nna ga ke tla ka di tactics tse ke solo hela gore di diriwe, but ke dumela gore gana go ntse tsa mali bile gore kare now the opposition e baba under pressure, they're actually creating a lot of chances. Gona le khonagalo gore go ba ka iphitlhela gore ba consider dino ke gona no atla benga le ka gore during the course of the game ba le ka gore a change halele hela gore ba khone gore now ba tshameke ka ha batlang go tshameka ka teng, but still ba adaptile to that the way of play eleng gore gongwe ke yona ya letsatsi le for the opposition e ba tshameka le yone. And ke dumela gore against a team like BDF 11 eleng gore le yone e tlo go gore ga kwana ba itse gore the away from home e ba lebela setlhopha sa TAFIC gore setlhopha sa TAFIC se le ka go tshameka ya be nna bone ba le kang gore let us see what TAFIC is offering and adapt to that. They're playing in the hands of setlhopha sa TAFIC ke gona ha eleng gore bone ba tle ba itse gore we can quickly get 2 goals from this game e be re re settle yano into the game. I think problem one in na gone go setse go itshupa mo di results gore now ga ba diri ba dumela gore we are going to use this style of play ba sa gone go lebella gore opposition one e tla ka eng mathata nna one gore ba iphitlhela le gore they're opening up at the back, they're conceding goals, and at some point go tlo go iphitlhela le gore it comes into play ha setse re bua ka di goal difference tse leng gore I mean right now ba iphitlhela le gore ba fenya ka margin wa bo 2-1 3-1 yo Gaborone United ba fenya 4-0 di tlhopha di fenya ma 5-0. So ke dumela gore ke sengwe se leng gore da Phililene o tshwantse gore mo tsamonyana kwa le ke gore a berekele thata mo go sone and just make sure that he avoids conceding every game.
Right. Re thalise jalo gore setlhopha sa BDF 11 ga bana jalo le Louis tshwanetse go logatse le gompeko mme a re lebella jalo metshameko ya bone methano gore ba ta bantse ba ira ka tseleng jang setlhopha so sa Matebele motshameko wa bone wa bohelo ba ne ba tshameka maleka 1-1 le setlhopha sa Nico United ba fentse setlhopha sa Security Systems ka no le ngwe le fela ba fentse jalo setlhopha sa Morupule ka no le ngwe le fela ba kgonne go bona jalo phenyo gape setlhopha sa ke tsere motshameko mongwe wa bona wa bohelo bana ba lathegelo wa police ko moragonyana bana ba lathegelo jalo ka no le ngwe setlhopha sa BDF 11 bana ba fengwa ke setlhopha sa Orapa United. But there is nothing really different with BDF 11 in terms of them scoring. We know what bana haba hentse 1-0 haba no step bontsi ke haba no sitse 2 ke gona ka ba no step bontsi, but o lebala metshameko a bone e hitileng wena Beni ke metshameko e le gore ba kgonne go bana phenyo ba kgonne go bana maleka gona le tathegelo mo teng mme hela. Let's talk about the consistency of scoring 1 goal.
Yeah, I think at the moment, Molokong, yes, they're in a good position, banal 15 points. But if you look at the game, the results said they don't do BDF 11 justice. BDF 11 should be top of the log. 6 points. If you look from game 1, from number game 1, if you look at the amount of opportunities somebody create, they don't create half chances or but create the opportunity di clear mo ene gore khona go bona di one on one re ka bala di one on one tsa BDF 11 la season e re to go lala ha di open goals ene gore they missed them mo ene gore nka bo soela gore go ba win bo 4 bo 5 mo di game tse di and ke go mo ene gore ga o le mokatisi ole se tshwanyana you'll be very 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 disappointed le batsamiki ba go. You have to be harsh on them because imagine mo di game tse dingwe tse gore if ba ne ba sa ni clinical ba go dira la gore ba lose di game tse dintsi ne a go nna o kare there is something wrong se le gore ba se dira bone le BDF 11 and they are reliant on bonnubelo ene gore le ene tsontse gore gongwe gona nang ka be re bua le gore he's amongst the top goal scorers. So it's nako tse dingwe a kitse gore a re kare maybe nna ke tekere gongwe ba tsamiki ba bona tsamkang go pele bo nnube bo taunyene boma maybe ba thokana le gore ba bewa ha ba tsela ke psychologist because it's all on well saying go training drills we tell le gore gongwe ba dino sa motho e be re ga ba tsena mo match day because match day is different from training because it's the pressure and everything. You don't have the time kwa wa bo le free. Maybe speaking to a psychologist ya ba go thusa hela sente because it's a mental thing. Ke tsa gore ke ngwa di tsena gore maybe ba ka di consider for batsamiki ba bona go pele so that they can bury those chances and able to kill games because now I can the results they're in a good position, they're in a better position than they were last season. Last season they were very very shocking tota ha ba simolola. This time around positive ke gore BDF 11 la ba ta ba wina 1-0 you know conceding only 3 goals so far season. It's a good thing. Mehela they need to start being clinical in front of goal.
Right. Luis tshwana gayo a rute jalo mo mongwe wa bathusa ba katisi Costa Penseo sa Matebele ke bua jalo ka the former Zebras captain Mompadi Apache Tuma.
Coach Apache, you come into this game without Coach Luis Tswane. How much of a factor is that going to be in this one?
No, it coach la lo gayo mo teng we still soldier on. He got the red card over the weekend at some Nico, but that doesn't stop us from going forward.
Let's say mo motshamekong wa gompieko le itse hela thata gore le tlhokana le phenyo gore le nne le ntse le teng mo ditlhopheng tse di go godimo la go tshameka le lebile ka selebego se sentseng jang.
Well, just it's all about 3 points. We're playing TAFIC home, but it's not going to be an easy game. But we'll take it from there. As soon as the whistle blows, that's when we'll see the way forward.
Let's talk about your formation today as well as your lineup. What influenced this one?
No, our system is 1-4-4-3-3 with it's a diamond shape with one striker and outside the wingers and 4 defenders at the back.
Coach, now you go into this game and obviously highlighting your last result. Does it have an impact on this one?
No, we are playing TAFIC. Like I said, it's a 3 points winner, but it's not going to be easy. But we are going to fight for 3 points so that when we go back to Gaborone, we have 3 points so that we can close the gap between us and the 2 top teams.
Ile mothusa mo katisi Costa Pensa BDF 11 ke ba jelo ka Mompati Tuma ebile re ntse re mo go bone go BDF 11 a re bella gore tshokolo go tsela go mpe go bata ba eme ka tseleng jang ba semella jelo ka Kagiso Matlou gona jalo le pelonte le role Ronald Setshego o nka betse seforo as the captain bana jalo le Matlou mola Mkwanazi mo le balla jalo the midfield gona le go dira one modingwane tefo molefe Emmanuel Sekwena bana jalo le Mompuluki mo a tshetsapang ke le bogile mo le balla jalo gore go pele bata ba bana jalo le Mbonisi Ncube ke ha le gore stapa se sa Matebele bata ba ntse ka teng tshokolo ga tsela gompieko. Let's look at the absence ya ga Luis Tswane KK and touch a little bit on how they are lining up this afternoon.
Yeah, Mompati Tuma did say that Bashapo la mo katisa so Bashapo but ke dumela gore in a game like this one most of that ba iphitlhela le gore they are playing away from home. You really need your coach gore ba iphitlhela le gore is at the helm of everything se le gore se be se diragala and you look at the opponents in TAFIC a tough opponent e leng gore ba iphitlhela ba tshameka lone mo tsatsing la gompieno go a gonna gongwe le nako e leng gore ba tlhoka gore ba fetole sengwe hela in the first 15 minutes of the game TAFIC all over them. They will need to change something gore gongwe ba kgone gore le bone ba iphitlhelele gore go nna le response e botoka on their side, and they will need the coach gore gongwe ba dire yalo melaetsa e ka sendiwa ga ritso ra tla goroga kana ko e leng gore e tla be tshwentse gore e goroge ka yone ko go bo mo mpatithume ba ke dumela gore looking at ka e leng gore they're lining up it's the 4-4-3 e leng gore we buile, and these are the players ba leng gore ntse a tsamaya tla tshameka a ba dirisa thata. I think you look at that back four, one of the most experienced back four e leng gore ha le bella overall mo leaking hela, and players ba leng gore they have really played a lot of football together. The understanding there ke sengwe se e leng gore tshwantse re tsamere o se consider ga le da feel gore the opponent le gore ke tla ke tshameka lone defensively bana le batshameki ba leng gore bana le experience ba tshamekile mmogo ba go tsamaya dira yang gore a kgone gore break. And you look at re ntse re lebile last 5 as tlhopha sa BDF 11 ga go supentsha hela gore go nusiwa gone go tsamaya le gore ke sengwe se e leng gore e ka re ba bereketse thata mo go sone. Offensively, yes, they're struggling to get as many goals as they would like, but ko morago hela they're able to shut the door le ha ba inosetsa one mme ko morago hela ba kgona gore ba keep those clean sheets. So ke sengwe se leng gore o tswa ma re tla tsa ma re ntse re se lebile mo tsatsing la gompieno gore they're going to be able to do it. And you look at ha gare ga lebala with Tefo, with Mudingwane with his experience untsa a kgona gore re mmone ko a tshameka ko national team ke sengwe se leng gore le gone go setse go kgona gore go build morala gagwe, and he's been doing very well in that position a protectile defense as tlhopha sa BDF 11, and the results do show hela gore he's been doing quite well. And mo tsatsing la gompieno one of the players ba leng gore ba tshwantse gore ba game ya bona ba itsere ba isitse ha go dimonyana ba kgona gore ba bale di movement ba kgona gore ba cut ba intercept di ball and just start of play hela ko morago ene wa ga Modingwane. So ke dumela gore these are some of the players ba leng gore tle re tsamaya re ba lebile ko pele. We did mention him, Ncube, he'll be leading the attack. I think confidence wise hela once o simolla o parla ke go nosa clear cut opportunities, it weighs on you as a striker. So ke sengwe se leng gore ke dumela gore they need to try and work with him so that a busetse that confidence a gagwe, and just tell him gore ga le kopele just relax and take your time o kgone gore o itse gore o batla go dirang ga se tso tshwere bolo, because ba tshameka gare ba gagwe they're really trying hard gore ba mo supply ebe yone the finishing ene le gore ke yone leng gore it lets him down, but he's a good striker. He's able to get in those positions, make those runs tse leng gore ba kgona gore ba create le di opportunity se be sa phirebe nna gore ha kgone gore a di feleletse ha kgone gore a dire di opportunities tse dintseng yalo. So mo tsatsing la gompieno you really need to do much better gore gongwe le ena iphitlhela ile gore ga sa kgone a itswele hela ka no e lengwe gore tlebe gongwe e ka fenyetsa setlhopha sa BDF motshameko.
And o lebella gore setlhopha sa BDF ga se setlhopha se se nosang thata le go nusiwa ga se batho ba nusiwa thata. They are coming up against the TAFIC yellow gore bone hela scoring, it looks like it's not a problem on their side. Benny, you know, in which department are we going to see this battle in Nairi interesting, in the sense that, like I just mentioned, BDF defensively, it's not easy for them to concede. TAFIC, on the other hand, the past 5 games, they are showing you where Bone, they don't have a problem with scoring.
Yeah, BDF 11, the lowest scoring team in the top 8, and the best best defense alongside Habron United in the league. So but like I said, Yadigulu is not doing them justice. Hagilibila kaba some ten, to be honest. Boner baba sameka ba di bula di team, the chance di nothing. Karawata one or babola di team or ba create the open goals. Say no mo toka mo sitting with Sahoka no di buana or Karamotona gadi nusa abudule say, but it's another story for another day. And Kongwa you say no BDF need to answer ba berekela mo Morrison, and then you have TAFIC so far. Bastabanuste, Nodil Sumele, Le Laborataro, 13 goals. No Zelon Gore, Edit for Stopasa, Machiminga. So, Waro you have, I think in a way, it's a bit okay. You have a team Gore, Bone, Abatanamole Bali. They are not afraid to impose themselves, Momo Samekong, in terms of going forward. You talked about bravery, but the coach displays that more in the pre-match interview. And team la team equalizer kana yang he still has the edge a gore a tweak things out tactically ya ke se ke tlhalose ke re se tsa na iponaditse even last season ga le go Ghost gore ne re team ya go ena le mathata ire diphoso he changes ira di substitutes in game management ta gagwe ke a maema go godimo so gone yana TAFIC they are having fun tota ibile ke team kana they have exceeded expectations ka gore ke gone ntse ba promote and one would say ka gore ke gone ntse ba promote with the resources they have you wouldn't expect them gore ba le thing on the log so they're playing against the team eleng gore Mompati Tuma one of the best defenders so kila ramona asamkamoga in the 21st century and defense ya gagwe the fact that our video of 11 has a good record the best joint defense go a go bontsha ka se re se bona mo technical teaming ka Mompati Tuma so it's good to hear me say that about a former player le gore wa mona gore o khana go dira tiro gone mo lebaleng but hopefully I scarna ka re ke game e nnang ka re e nna tight thata but go bona go phuthulogile mo lebaleng go nne entertaining go nne le entertainment e rileng e scarna ka re ta ja CPL gore re ha no khantele bo o rata go bua ka khanya gore ga game tactically
yeah best tactical arela pasa bi sa much minyenga rather gore ba simolla ka tselentse nyantse go ga tsela go peko gona jalo le thata ya one Thandezela bana jalo le Thamani Muzila Arnold Ubuzeng hona le ke monetse Mangwedi hona jalo le Shanganani Nganda hona le gape ga o gangwe bana jalo le re ba ne Joseph Kabetsi Tiego bana jalo le Boemo Vincent Lekorwe hona le Theo Will Shadikong ga mo jalo le Mudipe ke ka ha ile gore ba tshameka ka teng ba match myenga look at this lineup you can mention players like Lokoro Vincent Lokoro you can mention players like Gape Gaogangwe he even has the national team experience you know played for Rapa United passed through Galaxy and you know the Zebras like I just mentioned that these are the players that you look at them KK against BDF 11 more especially that midfield where the two teams you can say they have seasoned players in a way Obore carry that feel to where he wanna be.
Yeah, you look at TAFIC le sone a few names say long gore experience wise you talked about Gape Gaogangwe one of the players by long gore re moniko national teaming re moniko Rapa United joining Galaxy I think o tshamekile maybe a few games go happen joining Galaxy but look at the names tse long gore re bua ka tsone re moamanya le ene go supa hela gore experience wise he has experience in Gape Gaogangwe re buile ka modingwana ka go setlhopheng sa BDF 11 and on the side ya TAFIC re tle be re tsama re lebile ene gape gore ha gare ga le balagale ene o tle go tsama a direlang setlhopha sa gagwe defensive wise you expect him gore a khona gore ha gare ga le balagale a lead go ya ko morago be the leader be the one player long gore tla ba le ka gore a simololise play once they win the ball ga ba tshwere ball a le ke gore control the tempo ya motshameko and just be able to help ba ileng gore ona le bone ha gare ga le bala bo Joseph gore ba khone gore ba settle into the game so ke dumelela gore ha gare ga le bala hale is going to be a tough battle gona le experience e ntse e leng gore re buile ka yone o lebella ko pele setlhopha sa TAFIC bana le lekore yes they'll be missing Thabiso Bante but ke dumela gore le ene lekore o tla tshwana ke gore a le ke gore a goge setlhopha sa gagwe and find those goals e leng gore ba di tlhoka but you did mention khanya ya ga Thabiso Bante gore mo tsatsi la gompieno in a game like this one facing a team like BDF 11 e leng gore defensively they've been very good you need such players e leng gore ke dumela gore they might just miss him in today's encounter
I don't know if BDF 11 okay we'll say defensively they have been good because they are not conceding so many games but hardly we did you know a couple of the games Stapasa BDF 11 that defense ke think ipotse gore ya ba le ditapatse le gore ba tshameka le tsone tse le gore they are not clinical because that defense hela yone it has so many errors Benny we were here which game were we doing BDF against
which one are you talking about police
no police I wasn't here I was in the stadium but anyway carry on
no yeah the thing is yona kwela now you know agora bona on the other end you see gore tota they o go ba no stadium tse dintse ka o lebile but on the other hand how lebile di game tse dingwe yes I agree at times ha ne ba kopane team tse le gore tota they are ruthless nga be re bua different story get a different story ka maduo a bone but go mo ga o ka ela thoko ga o ka leba di-game tsa mo gae tsa league o ka di ela thoko di-team ga di ruthless on goal ka bontsi ba tsone they're not ruthless on goal so sometimes you can get away with it because o tsere ditšhono tsa gago you end up winning the game. I mean it's football and then the goalkeeper le ene ke motho le gore has to be key gore o tla tshwana ke gore to minimize diphoso tsa leng gore nako tse dingwe o kgona ta a di dira so ke ngwa di tsene gore le ene he has to minimize tsone diphoso tseo because as a goalkeeper you're the last man ela o ira phoso immediately ha e tsena mo letlweng it's another story ha go tshwanela ha le motshameko morago kana ba bangwe ba tota ke outfield players bone ga ba irile phoso e kgona gore behela e coveriwa ke o mongwe kana e coveriwa ko wena mo tshwara dinno mme anong ga ka gompieno ke thabise ba tsameka timelo gore e nusitse dino tse 13 the third before the game tsa mabandi tsamikiwa TAFIC had they were the third best scoring team before the game tsa mabandi tsa league di tsamikiwa so it just shows you gore they need to be very 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 aware ko morago defensive awareness e botlhokwa yes no nako tse dingwe ra itse go defense ya bone no itseela gore a kere ke se tshego se furo le role go ngwe o ithala Thabiso Khunwane ya no ngayo gantsi mkhwana zile gore ba motsiste mo stopping ke ene le gore o nna mmona a irene back four ya bone and then lene modingwana le gore he protects the back four so stability so sone in a way sa ba thusa to be honest because tota bona back four ya gago le goalkeeper ra ga gona le stability le midfield you stand a better opportunity of winning more games because gonna le the telepathic understanding among batsamiki ba gago even if mokatiso wa bone a so mo tsela gompieno I don't think it can be an issue they already know what they can do Mompati Tumalene Nanzana le Unanzana lane, so they already know what
Tuman charm like that, leading the side this afternoon. I guess what was happening at Timiza Tafosi this weekend. Yesterday it was Matoro Nolo Sirumwela and Beso Pius leading Police 11 in the absence of Junior Letamor. But anyway, I'm just saying, score predictions.
I think 1-1 draw.
Ooh.
Yes.
Do you agree or you differ?
Not necessarily disagree, but I'll just be different. I'll say
hella for the sake of being different.
No, let me not say hella. Just that I had it in my mind, get 1-1. I wasn't sure.
Okay. But now because KK said 1-1, change your mind. It's allowed.
No, it's not kanyate. Okay, you know what? For the sake of our home ground advantage, let me just say 2-1. To Machiminyenga. 2-1
to Machiminyenga. Let's look at the key players. You know, they're going to win this game for Stapasa TAFIC. But they're going to fight that battle.
Yeah, I think on the side of the home team, Stapasa TAFIC, Kidumela Hore Kopele Lekoro is one of those key players. He needs to learn, he needs to get more goals, confidence. I think the partnership here, Thabiso Bantense Tama e ba berekela mo tsatsi la gompieno re tlebe matlhotlha libile mo go ene gore tla tsama a direla setlhopha sa gagwe and ha gare ga lebala hale did talk about gape ga gangwe he's going to be very key ha gare ga lebala hale gore ba leke gore ba tshware shape e leng gore ba tsana mo tsatsi la gompieno ba batla go idirisa Dafilo buile ka gore ene ga tle go lebella ope gore o tshameka yang a bare wa adapt to that so re tlebe re libile gore Dafilo tla ka eng and role ya gagwe ha gare ga lebala hale gape a tla khona gore a dire just protect his defense go mo tsatsi la gompieno ba khona gore ba ipone clean sheet ya bone after le baka le di game tse dintse leng gore ba ntse ba di tshameka without a clean sheet and on the side of Stapasa BDF 11 we spoke about the goalkeeper Matlo against the team eleng gore setse e itshupa gore ba no sa dino he has to really step up his game. He does make some mistakes tse leng gore no solohela gore tshwantse gore a dire go le botoka
not to concede so many goals. Honestly,
ke sengwe se leng gore ke dumela gore even in previous seasons Matlo is one goalkeeper e ka reng ga tsa mantso lebella hela rekota ga go di game tsa gagwe ka ntseng a tla performa ka teng o itlhela le gore he tends to make those mistakes tse leng gore some cost the team go itsupa gore mo nakong ya gompieno o kgona gore at some point get away with those mistakes, and his defense so far has been trying to cover him. So one of the players against the team they will create chances, they will score goals, perform I just want to see him confident, that confidence and just go try and get those goals behind the net. He's been getting chances, the one-on-one open net, but as a gore a di beria ka striker dumela gore tsentse re nke ba dira so gompeno ke dumela gore o tsentse gore a leke gore le ene a itirele tiro ya gagwe and just get those chances, bury them, aba khona gore a build the confidence ya gagwe back into his scoring side.
You're a key player. Today, you believe so? Good luck. Good luck, Benny. Do you agree that Ngube will win the Scottish team? You said Vidafa losing 2-1 anyways. He the one scoring the consolation goal.
No, listen, he might. I'm still gonna put him as a key player. I know last time in Letera, there is another reason why. The reason why I'll put him as a key player because Kidumala he will be the deciding factor of whether BDF 11 come out of this game with something or not. Because he's always on the end of Tensoko Pale.
You know, one thing that you should give credit him, that you should give credit to him, Dirani. He's so perfect with his runs. Matata hela, finishing, decision making. I don't know if he thinks a lot or what it is, but Dirani hela, we find the right positions. No, that one will come lina kasisi. Will come lina ka go toka go sa no sa hela. But in terms of those runs, man.
That's why again I can raise the keeper because na go zeni ngoba khona o winner, he scores goals. Yeah. So I'll say Ngube ele Sekwena Hagari because ke player le gore ke dumela gore box to box offers something new this season for Sobasa BDF 11 in terms of in terms of progressing play and trying to help to in terms of creating goal scoring opportunities. And then on the side TAFIC, I'll go Hagari Konle on the middle field because BDF 11 the reason why Bale Habalin Temolokon this season the winner but some middle field up compared to last season. There is an improvement. That is why we can create the opportunities, especially for them. So I think it's a game changer for me for Stopasa BDF. So I think they will have banality to store midfield or Stopasa BDF.
Let's look at the benches. You know, the two technical teams. The former Kenga against Chamlek and Mompati.
Yeah, we spoke about the field experience we and le TAFIC Highland thing, and I think Rosamarantare mo pupota le getla gore go gore a be setlhopha sa TAFIC mo nakong ya gompieno e be se phitlhela se kgone go collect the points in position 3 so ke dumela gore he's been heavily involved. Is one coach e leng gore ga lebella overall mo Botswana. I think he knows all of these teams ka le gore di tshameka ka teng, and you look at setlhopha sa BDF a bo lebella go mo ba tshameki ba BDF. Not many players are new on that squad sa BDF, so ke squad se leng gore da fili wa sitse o se tlhaloganya botoka thata go mo ke sengwe se leng gore se tla tsa masemo fa an edge go itse gore what is he coming up against. All those players, he knows them, he knows what to expect from them, and all the weaknesses tse leng gore gongwe di tsamaile gore di batshameki ba BDF bana le tsone. So ke sengwe se leng gore setlhopha sa TAFIC ba tle ba itse gore mo go bone ba se tshwere. And on the side of BDF 11 bone da without the coach matsatsi la gompieno, but bana le bo Mompati Thuma ba eleng gore mo ba ntse ba tla bana le setlhopha sa BDF 11 di-results tse e leng gore gompieno setlhopha sa BDF ba iphitlhela ba le teng ke impact ya bone gore ba kgone gore ba le mo setlhopheng se le ba itse gore ba tshwanetse gore ba direng. They know Dafil for the longest time di-team tse e leng gore o di-coachitse, they have come up against, they know what to expect from Dafil. So ke sengwe se e leng gore ke dumela gore go tla tsamaya go ntse go nna dingalo thata hela ga re wa lebelela gore gongwe mang o ha godimo ga mang ga o lebelela the two technical teams. But mo bencheng ra itse gore gongwe ha re lebelela maina e leng gore setlhopha sa BDF se na le bone mo benching in the substitutions, game changing players, re tla re BDF 11 they have those players ba e leng gore gongwe ga ba introduceiwa ha go le thata, they can actually go in and help setlhopha sa BDF 11 gore gongwe ba with the experience ba kgona gore ba fenye motshameko wa gompieno. But the two coaches mo tsatsing la gompieno ke dumela gore ke batho ba e leng gore ba itsane and they know what to expect from each other.
I'm looking at the formation. I feel like a 4-4-2 formation against the BDF 11. Tiro Costa pensa BDF 11 that defense case so for one player he has to be vocal and Elemato they have to lead that BDF 11 defense, Benny.
Yeah, they have to, especially ha ile gore Sopasa TAFIC ba kgona go decide go tshameka power play. You know, 4-4-2 sometimes khona hela ile gore if you play with two strikers o khona na go tse ile gore o mongwe o tshameka as more as a shadow striker e be ile gore go dropa deep e be na ka number 10 to add no numbers go thusa ga o gangwe le Shadikong ha gare go heketsa midfield wa BDF 11 gore bona ba tshameka with a 3-man midfield ka 4-4-3. And then when the midfield ya bone it gets bypassed, that's where no go bua ka khanya organization ya ga se forwell gore ke no le gore le ene kana his una go tseng go khona tshameka 6. So when you talk about organizing go simolla go no in the number 6 position le on the back 4 ona le experience, so he's the man when orte ba mo libile le khanya went to setshego le role ke batho le gore ba khona go supporta BDF going forward in terms of overlap ba overlap to thusa BDF 11 to overlap the wide areas. Now that's where they need to be careful or when to go, when to stay ke gona le go botlhokwa thata. And I have to give credit to Ngado e leng gore ba mo sign ke rasta pasa TAFIC ba mo tsereng ko 11 Angels gore lene that signing has proven to be a very very good signing for Sopasa TAFIC. I mean the team di ipona tsa tse dingwe tse di kwa December tshamiki gore ba berekela tota. You can see gore ba team tse dingwe they were not just signing
for the sake of signing.
Yeah,
like the transfer window is open, we have
yeah,
to
we sign. Wa khona bona gore ba bangwe ne go kwadisiwa motho a itse gore o libile gore o tshamikisa smama mo positioning e rileng ya like re bona formation ya BDF 11 e leng gore ke ra e bona mo ditshwantsong 4-5-1 but nna ke itsang ka teng I know gore at some point mo motshamekong ya gonna more like a 4-3-3 moatshe le sekwena le bona ba ileng gore ba ha kopele ga modimwane almost like o mongwe a tshameka as a right 8 o mongwe a tshameka as a left 8. And then Kelebogile le Molefe. Kelebogile is one player gore on the wings. I want to see more from him. You know, there are times where it's in terms o khona gore o kare na go tsengwe the ka re o shota confidence ya go feta ka batshameki, but once he gets on that range ya gore a khona go taking on players go thusa Nubele ha gare le gore ke no ha gare and go gore ba mo create spaces se sentsi. But on the other hand Sopasa TAFIC go tshameka ka two strikers ga o ntse di strikers tse 2 gore la gore se foro le Mkhwanazi they have something to do about. Yeah. It's different than Udiale Motale one can cause chaos for your defense. So our BDF 11 have to be very 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 aware of that, and then TAFIC they have to be aware of being outnumbered in the midfield.
Right. Motshameko e leng gore mona konyetsa hedi simpelo in exactly 5 minutes o tla bo simolla jalo ka ko Francistown Council Stadium. Setlhopha sa TAFIC ba go ge ba amogela jalo setlhopha sa BDF 11. Ditlhopha tse pedi tse leng gore di tsena mo motshamekong o lebile re TAFIC the last 5 games ba kgone go fenya motshameko e le mene ba latlhegetswe go le mengwe ha setlhopha sa Matebele bone ba fentse le mebedi ba kgone go bana maleka le mebedi ba latlhegetswe jalo te motshameko le mengwe hela go tshamekela ka ko Francistown Council Stadium. It's been a while.
Home ground advantage for setlhopha sa TAFIC, and ke dumela gore atmosphere ke sengwe se e leng gore tle be re tsamaya re lebile balatedi gore a ka kwa ra go bona go nna le balatedi ba bantsi. I think for setlhopha sa BDF 11 it's one of those teams e leng gore ga se gantsi ba iphitlhela le gore ba na le balatedi ba bantsi ba e leng gore ba tle ba tsamaya ba ba lebeletse, especially ga e le bone di-host. So mo tsatsing la gompieno ka ko Francistown ra itse gore Francistown the supporters are always ko mabaleng. So mo tsatsing la gompieno ke sengwe se e leng gore gongwe BDF 11 ba tle ba tshwentse go itse gore ba go tsamaya ba dirang with that 12th play e leng gore right,
on that particular note, let's now cross over to Francistown Council Stadium for the first 45 minutes commentary of the encounter between TAFIC and BDF 11. Enjoy.
It's a defining afternoon for every player out there on the pitch. TAFIC are somehow on a good roll, and on this a Sunday afternoon, they kind of picked a much more difficult enemy. BDF 11 aren't precisely an opponent of choice. The heat at the bottom of the log is as much, if not more, at the top. And so both have an opportunity really to have a seat at the summit. Hello and welcome. BPL presents to you a mouth-watering encounter between these two teams. TAFIC, after a very long absence in the bigger league, find themselves having to come back after their win, getting promoted to the Premier League, and now they seem to have done very well. Now, this is what is going to be happening this afternoon. VK, as I welcome you alongside me here for TAFIC, really, they've surprised many, they've pleased many. This is how they line up this afternoon.
Well, indeed, nearly they've shocked a lot of teams because they've never lost here at home. They've got 2 wins and 1 draw, and they went on to collect points. But when you look at the starting 11, the field is playing a 1-4-2-3-1 system. So that tells you that the approach is going to make sure that the midfield is so compact by playing Gape Gaongang with jersey number 40 alongside Diego jersey number 25 in the midfield. So he's going to form a deep block. So that will make life hard for BDF 11.
Their opponents this afternoon, the Army side, BDF 11, all the way from Gaborone. They've been here for quite some time in preparation for this particular game. Their coach is not on the bench this afternoon. However, this is how they've decided to approach this game.
A team that is not scoring so much. They've scored only 6 goals and want to concede 3 goals. So they have never scored over 2 goals nearly this season. But it's a team with a good mission. You look at how they line up. So for me, the most key player is the goalkeeper, Kariso Matlo, jersey number 32, who has kept about 5 clean sheets. So in terms of how they play from the back, he becomes crucial.
And now the best officials for this afternoon, Untiretse Bauleni, ably assisted by Malvin Masilo. Moahi Pelonomi will be running on the other side. Of course, the man Tuso Marman will be the 4th official. So you can see they will go through the preliminaries and exchanging the pleasantries and all the like in this encounter this afternoon. What a game we can expect here, BK. They've come out in large numbers. They've come out to support. They're in a festive mood. It is December time. It is party time. Can the boys from the north, the Machiminyinga, can they provide the kind of atmosphere that these people can go back home with smiles on their faces?
Independent Coupe, as they call it, you will expect goals because almost every game they play nearly, they make sure that they get the goals. But the only thing to worry about should be the number of goals they concede, as they've conceded about 8 goals.
2 teams, they will look to the heavens for some kind of divine intervention. TAFIC, they will have their prayer. The Army side on the other side as well. They will also have their own prayer on the other side. 2 teams, 2 prayers, 1 God. What is going to be the outcome? They are both searching for the 3 points. Nothing more is much more important this afternoon than the 3 points. They are in somehow an upward trajectory. And for BDF 11, there's a lot of pressure. They know they must start eating with the bigger boys at the top table over there. For TAFIC, they are the oldest team in the Premier League. Born in 1958, the oldest team in the league. They are yet to win the league. Their counterparts on the other hand, BDF 11 have had success. They've had the league 7 times. They've been champions. But the last time they won, I don't quite remember when last they did that. They would want to go back to winning ways. BK, what a game we're anticipating this afternoon.
You know, a good game to anticipate simply because the two teams, when you look at the form, they've done so well. TAFIC, out of 5 games, they've won 4 and lost 1. As for BDF 11, they've been blowing hot and cold. But one thing that I can tell you, Neil, is that don't let BDF 11 score first, because they will make life for you difficult. It's a team that it's rare to concede.
And so you look towards the coaches. You look at the coach for BDF 11. You look at the coach for TAFIC, Coach Philemon Makwengwe, as well as the technical bench on the other side. It is the master versus the student in this afternoon. And of course, he's been trying to play some mind games, Philemon Makwengwe. He has drilled his team, they have prepared his team very well. They know exactly what to expect in this particular game. The supporters also, they've come out in their large numbers really. What they need to see is when the team starts scoring goals.
You know, you talk about Dafil, well-traveled coached, and he's got success under his belt. Remember, he has won with GU and so to many other teams. And you look at the bench for BDF 11. Yes, of course, Louis is not there as a head coach because of the suspension. But I can tell you, you talk about Apati Mupati Tuma. He's been in the game, so it will not really make the difference as he understands the culture of Matebe.
Zeko, they will try and play the ball backwards. He's under corner, Lerole, and immediately you can see the referee saying play on, see no danger there, and TAFIC quickly mopping up to try and assist. Very difficult ball to defend really, and you could say they've done very well to try and
you know, you look at the temperatures, it's not so hot today. That will allow the tempo of the game to be a little bit high. And you also look at the wind factor that will work for BDF 11. So that should mean TAFIC, they will need to play against the wind, and they need to be cautious and make sure that it doesn't hurt them.
That was a great pass, BK. Great pass really. And you've got to say that Kelebogile Tsapang could not get to the pass. And that's a great pass from Zeko Mudiwana. You can see they are very compact, as we said. Nice play. The referee for this afternoon is Mr. Unterese Bauleni. He will have a lot to do this afternoon. The pitch itself is not so kind. It's very uneven. And the players themselves will have to be very careful in terms of how they make their tackles. And the referee would have to be closest to the action in order to make the right decision. Good time. Ube! I don't know whether he was disturbed by the nice lay, really. Should have done better there. It was an opportunity for BDF. They had worked it out so nicely, and you think he could have done better. Ube took his time really to ensure that by the time he released that pass, he wanted to be sure about it. Have a look.
You know, he was not decisive in terms of what he wants to do, and decision making is one of the key important things in football. But as we predicted, that's the culture for BDF 11. They will not play much of the ball from the back, but they will always make sure that they put the long balls, because Ngube can run into the spaces and hold the ball so well for other incoming players, and you will also give them that shape that they need up front.
The referee stops the action as he gives a free kick to TAFIC. The game is closely contested quite very difficult to see where to go. It hasn't opened up even a fraction to see exactly who will be on the ascendancy here. But however, it's a chance for TAFIC to send the bigger boys forward. We saw from yesterday and the Friday games at BK that on a pitch that is in this condition, often it helps, and goals normally come from open, rather from a set play. That's where most teams will be able to get their goals, especially when the pitch is like this.
It's because it doesn't allow teams to open up and be able to play the carpet football. So that now makes a lot of teams to commit a lot of fouls around the boxes because the pitch is not so well, and most of teams will always try to use that advantage to bend in those balls. You saw with 11 Angels, they had over 10 set pieces and they scored from a set piece.
Ronald Sosego with that last touch that provides an opportunity for TAFIC for that throw in, and they send the big man to come and take it. Shanganani Ngata, the captain. You can see they know he's got a long throw. It is almost a corner kick with him. It will be almost a corner kick, but as you put it, Matlu, I led to the danger there and averting a corner kick.
You know, you're talking about the big man in Uganda. Last season he was playing for 11 Angels, and most of the goals they were coming from the long throws. Even last week when they won against Suwa, they scored from his long throws. So you need to make sure that you guard against those. You can even look at that, and the second ball, the awareness.
He is the hardest thrower in the league, Nkata. He's got such a long throw. Here he is again once more, almost a corner kick for them, and the referee there explaining that there was a push on the goalkeeper, but you can see the danger that he brings with those long throws, the captain in Kada.
Of course, and like I said, they need to make sure that they minimize, especially just around or closer to your goal post, so at least make them in their own half so that they become less danger.
If you are a familiar supporter who would have followed football in the longest of years, and you would have followed teams from the South African Premier League, they also had one man with Orlando Pirates, the Gavin Lane. He had such a long throw as well, and so Gada falls among that book of those defenders who've got that long throw.
Even one of our own, Nelly, Michael Moralad, he had one of the longest throws in that team of 2012 that went to the AFCON.
Indeed. What's it? Seho gives the ball away. Can TAFIC benefit from that? They are forced to go back to Kiabetsi. And Kiabetsi is slowly pushed to Khaukhangwe. Offside. And those that are behind him will be greatest assessors on a Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful Sunday. It's very hot, I can tell you that, but the spectators, they won't mind to have a clearer view of the game, and they've come out in large numbers really to support their team.
And on the northern side, I can tell you, Nelly, that TAFIC is the most followed teams. I'm told that when they played Nico United 2 weeks back in Pico, where they won 3-1, the stadium was full to capacity. Same thing that happened last weekend against Suwa. So that tells you that the people of Francistown, especially TAFIC, who has been in the first division for the longest time, so they're able to see Premier League teams coming here almost week in, week out.
It's amazing how this pitch used to be the only pitch this side in the north for Premier action, and how it hosted a lot of teams. I'm sure we are likely to see the first of the game. It is Zeko Mudimwana. He's got to bite this player, Mudimwana. He's the hard man of BDF 11.
He is, Nelly, and that's one role that they've put him for, to make sure that he cleans everything that comes alongside.
So, yellow card to Mudiwane. He's the hard man. He stings like a bee.
He's not much of a baller. You don't expect him to be dishing out those kind of performances. As you can see here, that indeed there was no danger to commit such a foul, especially early in the game, because it will put him under pressure.
You hope to see the player back. It is Reba Josephs. Reba Josephs, who is down. He's a player that they are hoping to use to widen the pitch, because he provides width in terms of attack. Reba Josephs. There he is. You can see his grim face there. That it's not a happy camper really. And the goalkeeper, seemingly for BDF 11 as well, has gone down from an earlier altercation with the TAFIC player, the Matlo. So Matlo has been attended to by the medic Warabile Lisetedi. So we will see. It's an opportunity as well for the coaches really to try and speak to their key men, to try and say to them, this is how you need to approach things going forward. Pleasing as well, there's a man I'm seeing on the bench there for TAFIC. Oh, what a player he used to be for this team. I'm looking at him and I'm saying, is this man still here?
Is it Bestobel Sechele? What a player. I'm told he was one of the best midfielders this country has ever produced. Unfortunately, as for me, Nearly, I've never seen him play. I wish I could have seen him play football.
He was a magician. If you have seen JJ Okocha of Nigeria, then you've seen this man on the bench for TAFIC, the assistant, the team manager to Philemon Makwengu. That was the kind of player that he was. Almost a magician with the ball. So good to see they're still involved in the game. I'm told also the goalkeeper, Ristin Musi, occasionally as well works for the team. Good to see that as well.
You know, good to see the legends of the game being involved so that they can add some knowledge into the young boys and also guide. So that's one thing that most of our teams are lacking, but for TAFIC, it's a good progress so far.
BDF 11 are they are hard. They are a team that can play very hard. BDF. So you'll not be surprised when you look at the count for fouls. You'll see that there will be a lot more in terms of fouls on the side of BDF 11. They bite, and they can bite very hard. It's an opportunity, like we said, to give the big boys an opportunity or a chance to go forward. Lekore will go forward, Ngada will go forward, and so will Khape. He will go forward. Lekore, it's a nice ball really, and the defense does so well to prevent it from going, but now it's a throw in, and guess who is going to go there?
Nganda for you, that's the man.
Nganda Kanda will go for that ball. You can be assured it's almost a corner kick for this man. It's a set piece for TAFIC. You see a throw in, expect him to be there, and you see everybody's on the goal post. There is nobody who's nearest. Look at how they are closing in on the goal post there, and it's only a throw in. Look at that. And so Mato does ever so well, and he will put this ball and send it to the heavens.
You know, Nelly, you can see that the first 14 minutes, it has been TAFIC who are trying to ask questions to BDF 11, and BDF 11, they're playing a deep block, so that means that they are sitting at the back and allows TAFIC to come. But let me tell you, as for BDF 11, earlier I spoke to the coaches. They said we haven't seen much of a TAFIC. We have seen that they're getting the result. So we are going to take the first 10 minutes to observe them and see how they play. That's when we'll be able to react.
Under close attention of the BDF men there, Ronald Cicero. Joseph wanted to play the ball to Lukore. Great intervention there by jersey number 29. Did ever so well to try and Pelontle Leroli. Fantastic. And this man, with that attempt, take a look at that Pelontle Leroli to the rescue. He's also one of the longest saving players in this team for BDF 11, Pelontle Leroli. He's had quite a number of seasons. He's seen coaches come in and go with this team, Pelontle Leroli.
He has been a regular in this team for so many years, and also on their bench for BDF 11, I've seen Mparitle, who operates as a left back, who has also been one of the longest players in BDF 11. So that tells you that these are the kind of players who have been able to be disciplined so that they can be able to stay long in the game.
Matou, the goalkeeper, he'll be hoping to keep a clean sheet. Both these two teams would know the importance really of winning today's game. So important for them to win today's game. Both these two teams are on a mission to create their own ambition. Despite being the oldest in the league, they are yet to win the league. Is it a dream of fantasy for them this season for TAFIC really? Their counterparts, BDF 11, they've had their own fair share of success, winning the Premier League 7 times. They are the second most successful team after Township Rollers, who have won the league 16 times. And so they, BDF 11 as well as Khabaru United, are joined on 7 titles so far. Very interesting stats that you could look forward to in terms of the league, where when it was formed, BK, it was formed in 1978, and this pitch is as old as that. This pitch that you see this afternoon, one of the longest pitches that's been used in the league. And like we said, this man here was a captain for the national team. They called him Legs of Thunder, Legs of Steel. He's a man who they bite. That's why you see the team today here, the defenders, they must feel you. So he says, if you are a striker or you are an opponent, you come up against this defender, you know you are at war.
And talking about BDF 11, the structure for them has always been to be solid, especially at the back. So they make life difficult for you. You can even see on the log so far that they've only conceded 3 goals. And I want to believe that defensively they've got the best record so far.
You look at the counts for fouls against BDF. Always when you play against them, you look at the counts for fouls. There will be so many of them because they tackle, they don't hold back.
And TAFIC, they need to make use of this kind of set pieces, Nelly, because back in the days, TAFIC late tackle
nibbled at him,
and the referee was spot on in awarding that. But TAFIC had legends back in the days who can bend this kind of balls. I remember one of them that quickly comes into my mind, Nelly, is Eric Cantona Molebaz, who was a free kick specialist.
Great shot, really. Takes a deflection, it's a corner kick. Oh, took it so well. He took it so well.
He took it so well, and the goalkeeper was beaten because it was a deflection. So you can even see the reaction from the goalkeeper.
Has he had a stint at the national team as well, Gape Gaugangwe?
Of course, during Adel Amrouche's time, and that time he was playing for Joining Galaxy, so he used to play and appear more often in the national team.
He comes with a lot of experience, and I can tell you, every minute of this game there are spectators streaming in. You could see just how many 20 minutes gone, but spectators are still coming in, still going through the turn side. Ngube! Good save from the goalkeeper. Did ever so well there. Tatayane Tandazela.
He did well, nearly, but let me tell you, Ngube, he could have done better on that ball. As you can see, look at that pass, and his runs are always brilliant, but he could have lifted his eyes up because the goalkeeper already was out of this line, so he could have played a chip because the goalkeeper was way out of his line.
The numbers continue to mount for BDF 11 in terms of fouls committed. Every other minute or so there's a foul that they are committing. So on that kind of a basis, it hasn't been that free-flowing kind of game. There has been a lot of stoppages as a result of their tackles.
And that tells you that if TAFIC were to attack constantly and make sure that they make the entries more into the box, they can always get a penalty. Those are the high chances that they can get a penalty with the number of fouls BDF 11 have considered so far.
He will loop it in for the forwards to try and chase, and so he does. He's forced to go backwards. Pump it forward, and it will be a throw in to TAFIC. It will be so it's going to be a throw in. Belontle le role. Belontle le role. Ngube. It's a great ball. Equally. Oh, BDF 11. The referee decides the free kick has to go the other side. And you can tell the supporters, 90% of them that are here are TAFIC supporters. And so every decision that's taken on the pitch, if it goes against them, you'll see how they voice their displeasure all the time. And so, BK, I don't know here, who came in first here?
Definitely is the TAFIC player. He got the ball first, and the BDF 11, he was late. As you can see on this ball, the keeper well alert, and you can see that so far he has done so well in making sure that he keep TAFIC on the game.
Both these players been attended to after getting injured. So the coach Philemon Makwengwe, you can see he's moving up and down, and he's trying to explain exactly how it happened here.
And talking about the tackles that are being committed by BDF 11, whenever BDF 11 they commit fouls, you see the whole bench for TAFIC raising up, standing up and complaining to the fourth official to say this is too much.
And it does look like it's trouble for the TAFIC player. The small support called onto the pitch to go and assist. You just hope that he can come out from this injury. You don't want to see a player being injured. it will create problems as well for the team as well. Look at that. How about this for a Sunday afternoon where it's almost like a Sunday chill, really. They've come out in large numbers, really. Only one thing that remains in this game, a goal.
It's a goal that will even motivate, the supporters to make the noise and sing. So, but as far as the crowd is being concerned, I can tell you, it's a beautiful attendance, and nearly this comes with performance that TAFIC has dished out so far in the league. So the supporters, they need to rally behind the team.
Some are so relaxed, chilled on a Sunday afternoon. It's called Francistown Ghetto, the city of all. I call it the city of all things precious, Francistown. An opportunity for BDF 11, is it Zeko? It's Mkwanazi, the Lesotho international, who went for that ball. Mochomela Mkwanazi from Lesotho. So it's a league that has attracted players from across the continent, really. Is it a good pass? Can he? And they cut the supply. It's a very experienced player. That was almost a foul. And so the referee agrees and brings the ball back. And you can see that on his case, the supporters, and very soon one of these players will be in serious trouble, really. They have been persistently, continuously getting carded in this game, hence increasing an opportunity for a second yellow that could ultimately mean a red card.
Talking about Botswana League being a league that has attracted a lot of players from different countries. Back in the days, we used to have a lot of Zimbabwean players coming to Botswana, but now we have seen more Namibians and South Africans coming to play here.
It does look like the goalkeeper for TAFIC, he uses contact lenses there for his eyes. I don't know if they have lost one of it, and so they're trying to assist him there to try and get him to see properly there. And you can see the media there, and there's a very one happy man. One happy man. He's the most happy supporter on the field here, who happens to be running up and down. Everybody seems to be waiting for the goal. He doesn't care.
But as you can see now, the water break, it allows both teams to be able to talk to players, especially TAFIC, who are home, who are so frustrated because BDF are not allowing them to play that normal football, because whenever they try to attack, BDF 11 commits a lot of fouls, so they deny them the chances to even go forward and make those entries into the last side. As for BDF 11, you can see nearly that the plan is to try and play them on the break.
As we reach this mark, these two teams will use it as a cooling break, whilst they are still attending to the goalkeeper. They seem to have succeeded in getting him ready to continue with the game. The goalkeeper for TAFIC, Tatayaone Tandazela, and therefore one more opportunity for the team really to get instructions from the coaches and try to see whether they can rearrange and have a different approach to how they would have started this game.
And we talked about Vincent Lekoro being a point of reference for TAFIC because he has burned in 3 goals so far in the league. But up to now, he hasn't gotten a lot of supply simply because BDF 11 is making a lot of fouls, and TAFIC, they're not giving him the necessary supply. But as for Ngobe, he has gotten more of the balls because they're playing direct to him from the back.
It's a goal kick to BDF 11. And we are all waiting for that goal and to see how the crowd is going to behave. Except that there's one different man from all the other people who are here on the stadium. He's been up and down, running, taking off his shirt and trying to gear the people. So we will see exactly. What can they do there? Trying to play the ball there. It's a public, but the goalkeeper is able to try and see what can happen. Plays the ball backwards. It's a forward ball. Zeko tries to play it in, and it's a ball that goes out. Sesero. Move. That was another foul by BDF 11. One of the many that they've given in this particular game. This time in Mube, the culprit. Mbonisi Mube, the Zimbabwean. One Zimbabwean in the army. In the army side. One of the few players with BDF 11 who are referred to as civilians. So he knows when they dismiss from here and they go through their routine, their army routine, and Mube will be spared the ordeal, and so will be Mkwanazi, and who else will be spared. Otherwise, most of them are the army guys. So Mube Mponisi in their language is referred to as a civilian. Philemon Makwengwe, and next to him, standing next to him there is one man, Jomo Nobody, Sechele, who played alongside Jomo Nobody Museu. Great TAFIC players. There's a player that is not coming back, has collapsed. They're trying to resuscitate him really. And immediately you can see TAFIC are preparing for a sub because they can see it doesn't look like a pretty sight. It doesn't look pretty, BK.
No, it doesn't, Nelly. You know, BDF 11, they've been hard, and you can see that even the coaches and the players, they've been complaining to the referee to say these guys, they've been getting away with the tackles. So that calls for concern, as you can see now that the player is being taken out. So that tells you
so he just went down like that. Joseph went slightly just a bit there, and they have put something there. He looks like he's knocked out really, and you could see immediately all the players distanced themselves. They went away from that because it's a slightly distressing for him. Our thoughts are with him at this particular point in time really. You don't want to see this. It's a good cross. And it will go away for a free kick. Joseph there. Reba Josephs will be replaced by Chivese.
You know, you'll expect him to come inside, especially second half. But now, just because it's the first half, let me tell you about this young man, Chivese, who was at SOA and Thunder Chiefs on loan. He's the leading top goal scorer for TAFIC with 4 goals. And almost the last 4 games they've played, he has been that man who has come in as a sub and make sure that he bends goals for TAFIC. So that's the man that you can now look up to, him alongside Vincent Lokoro.
I can confidently confirm for you of your pictures. Very pleasing to see the player up, and the medics have done their job. And now it is pleasing really, because everybody was distressed. The teammates, even the opponents, they were distressed, as well as the supporters, because he was carried on that stretcher, and he looked like he was motionless really. And so really good to see that there he is. He's up. That's pleasing. That's very pleasing.
It is, of course, and looking at how it happened, because there was no contact, he just stopped on his own. So
Lube there, he was able to bring that ball very down. Perhaps took a second, a little bit more, to try and take a shot. Great turn. Play the ball. And now Khape, with those long legs, could not be able to get to the ball. It will be a goal kick to TAFIC. This game has had everything, the flying tackles, everything in it but goals.
simply because it lacks the creativity. BDF 11 are playing a long ball straight to Ngube. As for TAFIC, we haven't seen much of them except the long throws by Ngada. So that's why we are lacking goals, because there's no much creativity so far, Nearly.
Jersey number 8 for BDF 11 is therefore Molefe. Peluntle Role plays the ball backwards for BDF 11 to Moate. Moate. Lerole. Peluntle provides a cross, but stop in his tracks. Plays the ball there backwards. We've talked about TAFIC being the oldest of the teams in the Premier League, and Francistown has been the second city in the country. They do have 2 teams in the Premier League, 11 Angels and TAFIC. After so long a time, there was that other season when there was no team at all from this city in the Premier League, until 11 Angels were promoted, and now TAFIC are back once more into the league, so that makes it 2. However, you look around in the lower divisions, if there's any emerging team to probably try and join these other ones, it's difficult.
Yeah, and they have about 2 teams, if I'm not mistaken, in the first division north. So that is Calendar Stars and the other one that was promoted this season. So, but it's very tough there, because Chadibi is running away with the league. Because remember last season they only lost just by an inch to the Premier League, because they went up, all the way to the promotion playoffs.
So they'll be wary of the relegation quagmire, TAFIC and 11 Angels, because it will be a tragedy if both of them were to go down, really. However, for TAFIC, they've started very well, like a house on fire, really. They've done really very well for a new team in the league.
Very well, and it looked to be a well-resourced team than back in the days where they used to struggle, and that eventually they got relegated. But nearly, it's a vice versa. Last season it was 11 Angels who were on song, winning, and all the supporters from Francistown, they were rallying behind them. But now TAFIC are up there on the log, but now 11 Angels are struggling.
They've reclaimed their spot as the darling of the city. Machimenyenka, they are referred To as undipe dikupe, you give, I give. You give me, I give you. More like scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So we will see. So how it will happen here. It's a throw-in for BDF 11. Mwase. And then they will let it go out for a free kick. Are they playing a calculative game, TAFIC, you think? Because they haven't given out their best yet. Are they trying to fool the soldiers into thinking that they are easy meat?
But as for TAFIC, the expectations was to go all out to them and attack, as the coach had said on the pre-match interview. But we haven't seen much from TAFIC.
It's a great shot, wide off the mark.
But as for BDF 11, they are playing a waiting game because they are waiting for TAFIC to come and make sure that as soon as they win the ball, they play a long ball, and they know that you will have your Ngobes, you have your Emmanuel Sekwena making those entries into the box and support Ngobe.
Macho. Seforo himself also a long saving member, the team captain Seforo. There he is. Muzila. It will be very interesting, BK, to look at the stats and see just how many fouls BDF 11 have made in this game. Incredible, amazing, I don't know.
And they'll be lucky if they don't get a red card if they continue to play like this, because that even disturbs how the game is going to flow, because TAFIC is a team that is running, that is playing the carpet football, but now BDF 11 has made even life difficult for TAFIC.
Chivesa with the set piece, and BDF 11 can clear their lines. The referee has been very conservative with his cuts, opting to give just the fouls and no booking for the players. Cicero. To be a throw into Cicero. Kwanasi. Cicero. He's played very well, Khape, so far in that midfield. He's provided the bite, he's provided the calmness in that midfield for TAFIC.
You know, he has given them the shape. He's so calm, and the most important thing about him, Neil, is that he keeps the position so well. He's disciplined. He knows when to go and when to stay, and he's giving that cover also for the defense.
Just under 5 minutes, or rather 3 or so minutes for the half to finish, and we await the first goal of the match. Is it coming here? Yes, it does. Bonisi Ngube, he's gotten it. He's gotten it. They allowed him, the left back for TAFIC, they allowed him to go behind him that other side. And once they did that, it was easy really for them to provide it in. An easy goal for BDF 11. They've got the lead.
An easy goal for BDF 11. He was a mark in that box. If you were to see the number of jerseys nearly in that box, about 4 to 5 players who were just ball watching, and a good pass into the box and the connection with the ball same time.
Look at that. They allowed him to cut the ball back, and Mbonisi Ngube really did so well on a volley to try and do that. And in a game in which there was so much expectation in the air, BDF have taken the lead, and suddenly TAFIC are staring down the barrel.
And BDF 11, most of their attacks in the first half, it has always been on the left-hand side for TAFIC, because they've realized that Ubuseng, jersey number 3 for TAFIC, he goes high up to bring in those quality crosses, but then sometimes he becomes so late and he leaves that space so open. So the moment BDF 11 win the ball, they pin it in that space.
Another of that long throw in. An opportunity goes over the ball. That was an opportunity for them. The man who just came on, Chivese, you would have bet your money on him, at least making the goalkeeper make a save, really. He hurried his shot.
Long throw, as we have talked about it, dealing so perfectly with the first ball, but the second ball, not picking the man on the blind spot. But let me tell you, he's got a lot of time to control that ball, to put it down and pick a spot. So he was in a rush to hit the ball. But I can understand, because he's just under pressure to make sure that he gets an equalizer before they go to halftime. And he's been the man for TAFIC who's been banging on the goals.
A wonderful cut back there for BDF 11, and Mbonisi Ngube saying thank you very much and putting his team ahead in this game. Good 10. Cicero, the quicker of the two. What's it? Zeko losing the ball there and fighting so hard for it. Chivese. You can see the defense for BDF done. Resolute. They're taking no chances. They're very hard. Kicking everything that flies before them.
They will always be solid at the back. You know, they're reminding me of the Italian style. They call it the paro. They make sure that they close everything at the back. So they'll rather put the ball outside and reorganize. And that is BDF 11 for you. They'll kick the ball high up and make sure that they don't give TAFIC the space and more numbers on the ball.
As we await the action from the referee to see when he will end the half, the 3 minutes of added time seemingly coming to an end in a bit. What's it? Can they make it 2 before half time? What's it? And the referee blows the whistle to bring the game to a close. And what a game we've had, PK. This is Mbonisi Ngube, his goal, the one that separates the two sides here at the halftime break. And you can see they will be the happier of the two as they go into halftime. You look at TAFIC, before they hear from their coach, they will have their own assessment of how they would have seen the game. The halftime score here, TAFIC 0, BDF 11 1. And so BK, this is how the first half would have gone by. Impressed?
Not so much to talk about, because the two teams haven't created a lot of chances besides the goal that has been scored by Ngube. The goalkeepers haven't been tested. We haven't seen a lot from them, simply because the two number 10s nearly of the two teams haven't brought a lot of creativity that you would expect them to do. You look at Emmanuel Sekwenya, the man who assisted Ngube, you expect him to do that more so that we can see more chances being created. And also for TAFIC, they're only relying on the long balls from the throw-ins. We haven't seen them taking those shots and making the 1v1s on the side and eliminate and bring in those crosses. As you can see, this is one of the balls that they were trying to bring in those crosses. But now, BDF 11 nearly, they are so good on the air that they will deal with any aerial ball that comes in their area.
It has been that kind of a story really in the first half. The two teams really going at each other. We could say half chances. There were not too many definite chances. Just when they needed it most, come at the hour, come at the man. A simple cutback in this particular game provided Mbonisi Ngube with an opportunity, and oh boy, did he not take it. He took it so well to put his team ahead, and it is his goal that separates the two sides here at halftime. Look at this. How about this for a finish?
A beautiful goal. You know, the connection and putting it on the far post. It left the goalkeeper with no choice. But I can tell you, in the dressing room, Dafil is going to exercise more on the defending, because he even talked about it even before the game to say they've been defending poorly.
And so this is how now the two teams would have played. I talked about it. Look at the number of fouls so far in this particular game. Most of them, BDF 11, are the ones who have been kicking the hardest.
And you look at the number of yellow cards being awarded. That goes for one over 11 fouls. So that tells you that BDF needs to be mindful. But look at the ball position. It has always been about TAFIC keeping the ball more than their opponents.
So for TAFIC really and BDF 11, these are the substitutes. Already TAFIC were forced on to bring in the men for the injured player there. But for BDF 11, what more can they do?
You know, they've got Kobe, for me, who has always been that man, especially going forward, because he can play as a number 10 or he can play as a winger. So that gives them a lot of options. And also, Taunyan is the man they can always try to bring in second half.
So that's the story here at the Francistown Old Stadium as we go for the half break.
Well, it is a 1-0 lead for
di a go ikhutsa ka se lentseng jalo ka go Francistown Council Stadium. Setapa se leng gore ke bone ba yeng sa BDF 11 ba eteletse pele setapa sa TAFIC ka no le ngwe go lefela no le gore ni se jalo ke Mbonisi Ngube. You guys spoke about him. You all predicted that he'll be in the score sheet today, and indeed he is in the score sheet. But overall, KK, the first 45 minutes, it wasn't something that we really expected from both sides.
Yeah, I think we spoke about the two sides and the lineups, and we're expecting a much more entertaining game as compared to the first 45 that we saw. Halebella Tafiki, no stats, no shot on target. I think the two goalkeepers overall, they haven't been tested that much. The only test they have the goalkeeper TAFIC but overall TAFIC haven't really tested the goalkeeper BDF 11, and overall there isn't much there were a lot of stops that free flowing in terms of creativity. They really tried some moments incidents tse leng gore re ne re se bona on the first 45 minutes game ne iphitlhela le gore e ka re ga gare ga lebala go na le dipalo tse dintsi tse leng gore ba nna e bit mo cage ga ba kgone gore gongwe ba bule motshameko le go varia play hela ga ke a bona ditlhopha di bona gore ga gare ga lebala e ka re go na le batshameki ba bantsi re kgone go tshamekela gare ga lebala a re le ke gore re dirise the wide areas. The only time se ke boneng BDF le ka go dirisa those wide areas ke ha motshameko se tlo ga go wela e ba kgona gore ba iponne nno ba ke dumela gore ke sengwe se batla tsamang ba le ka go se bankanya in the second half.
I mean, we expected a lot from TAFIC Beni, and ke dumela gore the feel at Freezes he's not a happy man. Le bone hela batshameki ba TAFIC, the way they played in the first 45 minutes, it wasn't impressive.
Yeah, I mean, one could say they've played it in the hands of BDF 11 because, okay, I admire the whole tactic ke one anye hele gore ngada utsadi throw in tse di telle tseo, but you know BDF 11 ke ngwa ditapa tse leng gore mo gae you play them aerially most of the time. I think they enjoy it, and so far yes they've tried gore ba kosa chaos for more defense in BDF 11, but they've been able to deal with the throw-in. It's a sente. Lidi said piece there, but the second ball. By the time TAFIC tried to connect the BDF 11 already there, ho block the ball at so it hasn't worked. Yeah, no, has game is similar. TAFIC ne ke bona gore ne ba pressa BDF 11 ba sa e chance ya gore khone gore e tswa from their own half, ba sa khone go e chance ya gore khone go ba khone go connect, no sa khone go bone modingwane ya connecta le sekwena le no sa khone go bona connecta le modingwane sekwena and moatshe. So nibile TAFIC ne na ba re 4 men they were never ba pressa with at least 4 attackers la ba go pele go simola mo midfield, and then it worked. Ke jaaka no bana ile gore most of the time TAFIC ke yone leng gore ba tlhola mo paleng ya BDF 11. But then game changer BDF 11 even na gore okay, you playing a high line, you're on our half, we will defend those long balls well, and then immediately ha ba tshwara bolo they make sure gore Ncube o ka dirane tsa go stretch defense to create havoc where we stretch defense as stop as TAFIC, and then ho go support to ake mo atsekana sekwenya ka ne ke bile ke bona ba leng gore te ba tshamaka ba le go pela ga modingwane, and it's not a surprise gore assist ene tswa go go mang go sekwena ne ke bile ka ene ke raise player leng gore o ka ba thusa going forward, and Ncube and then scored that goal maybe before that na go nile opportunity engwe. So I think go bontsha gore the other team is very comfortable defending those long balls at TAFIC, and then they pounce through transitions.
Right. We didn't really have so many attempts in this encounter, but let's look at the save here. The goalkeeper stopped at TAFIC came in the 22nd minute. Of the two goalkeepers,
yeah, I think stoppers at TAFIC really ha ba iphitlhela le gore ba dirisa di chances tsa bone tse leng gore le ha ne ba iphitlhela ba le mo hafonya ya BDF ne ba sa di dirisa. Unlike stoppers sa BDF gone hana, this was a very dangerous ball elong gore it forces the goalkeeper, it's like straight between the defenders and the goalkeeper, so it makes it difficult for the goalkeeper gore itse gore should I come kana again, and he made the correct decision ya gore a khone gore a tswe ka nako a ba khona gore a boloela e parry away from the danger zone, which was very important because Bonisi Ncube was lacking batla gore a leke gore a connect that cross. So ke dumela gore these are some of the few chances tse leng gore we saw stoppers at BDF 11 prior to the goal ba khona gore ba test the goalkeeper at TAFIC.
And this is the injury elong gore na dira they failed to make that first sub go tswa jalo Rebaone Joseph Khotsana Chivese.
Yeah, one of the youngest players by Longore Stopasa Machimiyenga bana le bone. But this injury, looking at the game kind of thing, I wasn't surprised for no injury because there was a point where mo gaming you corner to corner no too physical on each other. As when I look similar, if I'm not mistaken, think Mudimwana got a yellow card, have similar from a late tackle and another daily on a red card. And from here, Griff Carrot Ncube hold up ball and then aba khona go release his man on the left, aba khona go tsenya that dangerous ball, and then e be go nna le this collision, physical collision e le gore le tsere bona e le gore ya no go nna le ene go balwe e le gore masisi.
And towards the end of first half, the most important time, KK, concentration time, which we always talk about, which the coaches always talk about, BDF 11, they got what they wanted, the leading goal, and it was that man, Ncube.
And I think as Tapasa BDF 11, they're really trying to exploit those spaces on the wide areas. Look at that ball. And also, TAFIC. But le bone ba nne le nako ene ba re kgona gore ba bone gore ba tshware bolo and actually try and play out of the half. Bolo ele
he was all alone.
He was alone. There was no need gore a etse abadira another throw in. E leng gore gone had they feel gore ba kgona gore ba pike batshameki ba elong dirana setsa bone.
But let's look at TAFIC. The defense, as TAFIC mobile yellow gore. BDF 11 had 2 players. TAFIC there were 4 or 5 players around the box yabone, but no was a Mikey. Mikey yabone was 4 wrong.
Yeah, but me ala bolu e ha ke se ke ba blame be ala go no ho. O bana ha a kan ne go sa khona go bona sente gore sente who won the ball wa BDF 11. I want to TAFIC in the opportunity from their own half, and then player BDF ba khona gore a win ball ka bona go no on the more defensive terrain ya TAFIC, and then ba le gore ba release Sekwena from this instance. And credit to him, gona le the awareness a gore a khone go passetsa Ncube, and credit to Ncube gore le ena ba khonne go position a gone ha go go ithala le ke dikgantsa gore they are already anticipating gore ba kanya gore Imanyo Sekwena e tara tshwara bolwele aba immediately a betsa the first defender instead of gore nela awareness a gore a ire cut back. That's why we always advise attackers gore nako tse dingwe o square do the double movement o khona go delay so that o khona go pass spaces on sa gore teammate a go bona e be khona go passa, and 2 players only inside the box, and then look at the defense. Look at that. Ya ka no bua dipalo tsa bone. You would say poor defending in terms of giving stoppers BDF 11 a lot of space. Earlier on ne re bua ka khanya gore nko morago they always give you a chance stoppers TAFIC or to gore khone go nosa, and gomo this justifies any point ya khantela re bua ka yona.
Right, BDF 11 ile no ne ba ne la ke tapele no ya gambonisi Ncube. But going to the second half, KK Oliver Congo, you are home, you have been doing well. You know you are equal with points. Let's pass BDF 11, both teams at 15 points. Definitely you want to get that point lower. Now what do you do? What changes should the film make going into second half?
And I think the film will be looking for that early goal ya gore le ke gore gongwa a iphitlhelele gore wa boela mo match, and then a ba le ka go senka the winner.
Right, let's now cross over to Francistown Council Stadium for the last 45 minutes commentary of the encounter between Machimi Nyenga and Matebele.
With a substitution once more for TAFIC, who must try and change things around if they are to remain in the game, if they are to remain relevant this season, or if they are to remain relevant on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Their supporters have come out in large numbers. They're in a festive mood, they're in a happy mood. Nothing more but a win or something out of this game can be pleasing to them.
You know, you will expect TAFIC to make the changes. As you can see, they've brought an early sub into the second half. So Modise is going out, who was playing more on the left-hand side as a winger, and they're bringing in jersey number 7, Dichaba, who's also an out-and-out winger. He can also play on the right or left to try and give them the width and bring in those crosses. And he's also good on the 1v1s to take on the defenders.
On this beautiful Sunday afternoon, TAFIC will look to the heavens for divine intervention. A 1-0 goal is not a sky too high for them to reach. They can easily get back in the game. However, it is easier said than done. They begin with the subs that you've talked about to try and rearrange, to try and re-energize, and to try and remain focal and relevant in this particular game.
And to score against a solid team, especially at the back like BDF 11, it will take a lot from TAFIC to even do much better, do a lot of creativity, bring in those crosses, create those set pieces, those long throws into the box by Nganda. But other than that, BDF 11, they've always been good defensively, and I'll not be surprised if they were to make a change to bring in a defender like Timako or Kunani to lock it up.
Looks for the options there, and the player does so well there to avert the danger. Jersey number 3. What's it? Goal kick to TAFIC.
You know, TAFIC, they need to be agent because they know that they're behind, and playing at home, you need to make sure that you get the result. And if they were to lose this game, Neil, it will be the first home loss because they've been keeping it so well. The home record for them is good, and they need to make sure that playing home with the supporters behind them, they need to get the result. But it's not going to be easy, as I said, because BDF 11, they've proven to be a tough nut to crack.
Tough nut to crack it is. However, they will have the belief, they will play with that belief. Currently, they are just staring at the barrel. They need to do something. Easy intervention there by Arnold Ubuseng.
And I can tell you one thing that I've observed since the game has started, he has never sat on his chair. So that tells you the pressure that he's under, and making sure that he's closer to the line so that the instructions can be even loud and clear to the boys.
He keeps looking at the players who are doing the warm-up. Clearly he needs to see whether they are ready as well to provide the challenge that's needed in this game. He's had a good game as well, the left back for BDF. Quickly dispossessed.
You know, you talk about Cicero, he's new into this team, but he has done so well. And that tells you exactly nearly why Mparitle, who has been one of the longest players for BDF 11, has struggled to make it to the team. So Cicero is doing a far much better job than him, especially defensively, because BDF 11 is a team that plays from the back. They believe that they need to be solid from the back, but they will always go forward as when necessary for him to bring in those crosses.
Furthermore, he also brings in a bit of height and physicality in that defense. They'll take their time, BDF 11, to restart the game, and they've been able to win most of their games 1-0 because they're able to protect that kind of a lead. So are BDF 11.
True, Nelly. They're not a high-scoring team, but once they score you, it will be difficult for you to score against them because they'll always be solid in the midfield and defensively.
So, we've talked about him really. That he's had a solid game so far in that left back position. He's got a bit of height as well to go with it.
For me, one of the interests will be to see Likoro and Chivesi and the number 10 Pewo, how they are going to line up, because for me, that is one of the deadliest combination in the league so far that were able to produce about 13 goals. But so far, we haven't seen much of them simply because there's no creativity from the midfield to be able to give them the balls and challenge the defense of BDF 11.
Oh yes, besides, despite playing home, really, they are still yet to have a shot of any note TAFIC to try and put Matlu under pressure there. You talked about Lekore. He's got a few goals as well on him, three to be precise. But right now, you know, he's catching a lonely figure up front there because he has barely had anything really to work with.
And remember, who has been given the assignment to make sure that he doesn't get those balls, to make sure that he disturbs him, is the man that you talked about him earlier in jersey number 6, the captain, Kaiser Seforo, who has been one of the best defenders but underrated in the league.
Lube, he's been very busy, Lube. He goes rolling on the ground as if in complaint of not being played quite well. The referee had said play on. The goal scorer, Lube, is it because of the pitch or is it because from the tackle or what? Because from that area where they are, Bakang, I had a chance to walk towards that area. The pitch is in a very bad condition that side here.
Well, the defender was going for the ball, and yes, he had just a slight touch on him. That for me was not just too heavy, but you can't undermine these things. But also players, Nelly, because BDF 11, they're leading, he can play the tricks to make sure that he delays the play.
Oh yes, they are trying to stagger the momentum of the game to try and make TAFIC into forget exactly what they need to do because they disturb the rhythm of the game so that it becomes very difficult for them to get back in the game. Pelontle sportingly will hand the possession back to TAFIC. To Ngada, the captain. They'll go back to Khape. Seizing their chances are gaining slowly gaining territory into the enemy's area. The shot in anger from TAFIC, really, nothing more.
Nothing more, and you can see the frustrations taking his luck from that far. It wasn't going to bear any fruit. But one thing that I've also realized, Nelly, as you can see from that ball, how they are able to interchange the ball to keep the ball. That's one thing that they've improved on the second half, but he just ballooned the ball over the bar. But now, as I wanted to mention, Nelly, whenever TAFIC are in possession, BDF, they commit all the numbers behind the ball. So that tells you that they don't want to make life easier for TAFIC, and they want to make sure that they frustrate them.
He will look the ball forward. Can they get something TAFIC from here? Is there a corner? Yes, it is.
Let's go, let's go! Hey, hey, hey!
You know, they need to make this kind of attempts and go forward and challenge BDF 11 because they haven't challenged them that much, as you can see in that ball, Neil. They want to believe that it was a handball and the referee maybe could have called it.
Chisewe, it was compound. BK, he hit it with some precision and ferocity. It was going in. BDF 11, as we have said, resolute in their defense.
They are, and they are so solid. They make sure that they will block the ball, as you can see. Look at that ball, Nelly, failing to deal with the second ball and allowing the space for Chivese, but a well-taken shot that was blocked so well by the defense.
You've got to look at it, you've got to love it when you see it really. From here, it was a ball that bounces back onto the pitch. He seizes his opportunity, lines it up, takes a shot, and you can see great defense there by Mkwanasi, the defender.
And even how he controls the ball with his left foot and makes a shot with the right. So that tells you that he's a complete player. He's able to use both the feet. Great stuff by Chivese.
Chivese will play the ball out, and it will provide 10 minutes into the second half. The two coaches are seemingly preparing to make substitutions to try and dig in, and the two teams will dig deep really for different reasons. For BDF 11 to try and consolidate what they have, and for TAFIC to try and get back in the game to salvage something out of this game.
You know, TAFIC, they're bringing in Kuzani Sibanda, a Zimbabwean player who is more of a number 10. So this is the man that I talked about earlier on, Nelly, that he hasn't done so much, especially in that role as a number 10, because you expect him to be able to give more balls to the front lines, but he hasn't done that. So he's now bringing Sibanda, fresh legs who can do much better. But as for BDF 11, they're taking out a right, is it a right back if I'm not mistaken?
It's a winger, Kelebukile, the winger there for Tsobo.
It's like for like, because now they're also not trying to sit at the back. They're bringing a winger to make sure that they attack on the left hand side like they did on the first half.
Tsobo is also a player who's got some goals in him. I thought he did well for Notwani. Collectively, the team couldn't just quite do well, but as a player individually, I think he brings in a lot in the game, Sibanda. You can see how the crowd is restless. They would have loved to have something in this game.
They are cold, Nelly, because they are here in large numbers. As you can see from the screen, that they are patiently waiting for a goal from Machi Minyenga. But they haven't done so much to be able to challenge Kagiso Matlo as well as the defense of BDF 11.
An opportunity, and they'll get a throw in. Nothing more. And so, just as we have just gone over 10 minutes and we are trying to close down the game, the two teams with their fortunes intrinsically intertwined, they will begin what could ultimately capsulate into the greatest rumble fight and what the hunter has become the hunted. It is the 3 points that the two teams are chasing really, and in a situation like this one, it's a dog eats dog. And the law of the jungle prevails this time around. Eat or be eaten. An opportunity gone wasted.
So far so good, Nelly, for TAFIC, because since second half they've been asking questions, and that tells you the reason why TAFIC had to make the quick changes, bringing in more offensive players to be able to take the game to BDF 11, as he said in the pre-match. But you can see now that they are asking questions, but BDF 11, they are saying, we're not going to make life easier for you. They've been strong so far.
You could say it's rumbling, it's bubbling, it's simmering. It's there in the horizon really for TAFIC. They're beginning to take war to their enemies, and they're beginning to enter into that enemy territory. So what can they do now? Sibanda brings the ball down. Sibanda, it's a lovely loft. Still dancing around that area. Can he put in that cross? Yes, he does. Chivese! It's a misfire from Chivese, but BK is promising. It's brewing. It's bubbling. It's simmering. It's there on the horizon. as you see this chance here.
It is promising. You know, they've been doing a lot of attacks from the left side, right side, and even on the center, taking the game to BDF 11. But I can tell you, as for Chivies, is the first touch that has let him down. Look at now the bench. Chamlek, he's a worried man trying to say, guys, be organized, stay switched on, because you can see that now the field is asking questions.
They are pinned in their own half. I think that's what worrying for the team, to say, get away from that. But they are not there by choice. TAFIC are pinning them there in trying to get their goal. And you can see the master class there by the technical team from TAFIC. Sibanda! Oh, what a shot! It took the fingertip from the ever-present Macho to prevent that goal. I keep saying this, it's bubbling, it's simmering, it's cooking. They are going at them, TAFIC.
It is coming, it is promising. The attacks they've made, you know, challenging BDF 11, taking the shots from outside the box, putting them under pressure to crack. So it is coming, like you're saying, Nelly, but give credit to Mato, who has always been forever present for BDF 11.
They are lining up their shots. They may just have to be careful that they are not caught when they have all gone forward to try and attack. Is he offside, the player there? Seemingly they are complaining to say the player was offside. You can see how they are going at the assistant referee there to say.
I will want to see it with the slow-mo, because from where I am, Nelly, it looks like it's an offside. The movie was in an offside position, how it looks like from where we are, but we'll have to see it on the slow-mo.
Rather, Saforo will send it to the air, and Lekoro will try and it's a foul against Zeko Mudiwane. So you look at Mube there, and you have a fit. Look at that. When he has this ball here, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what you make of it, DK. How about this for a shot? How about
Look at that save. Look at that save by Mako. Forever present. Good save.
Shivese. It will be a throw-in, and we all know what it means. Uganda. It's a set piece, and they will all go into that. It will be a goal melee. They will all congregate there, because you will have a long one. You can see that really. The goalkeeper. You see, he has to let it go so he can throw.
Yeah, because he knows that he wants to put it so long, and you can see that Marco is so switched on.
They're sensing it as well. Almost scoring from there.
And you can even hear the supporters whenever he takes on that ball to throw it in, because they know what to expect.
Happy. Counter now. Ghana, the captain, did very well. They are losing the ball there. Move it. Adjust to be offside. He would have to time his runnings and move it, or the midfielders would have to release the ball quite earlier.
True that, but for TAFIC, they need to be mindful of how they hold the line, because sometimes they don't hold the line so well that it can even put Move onside.
Saying with a throw-in. Lukore. waiting for support there. Chivese, is it a penalty? The referee says no. The referee says no. They were all calling for it. The players, the supporters, the technical bench.
Well, Nelly, the truth is that it did hit his hands, but there are laws that governs that. One of the things is the distance between the kicker and the player. But for me, it looks like it's a penalty because his hands were going away from his body.
That's a
penalty.
So anyway, the goalkeeper, rather the referee, will have the game go on. The goalkeeper will launch an attack. There he goes. He goes there, plays it, he lobs it inside there. He has been resolute. BDF 11, they have been resolute in their defense. And clearly you can see, BK, this kind of substitution that they're trying to make. Gago, Kiabeswe being brought on. Is it to try and calm them down, cool the game down for BDF?
You know, they call him Gago, the former player for Gaborone United and Green Lovers in Saroa, is one player that prefers to be more on the ball, to play the ball. Maybe this is the time to say, no, let's bring someone who can control the tempo of the game.
There's a story behind him, the man who has just been introduced onto the pitch. And this is owed a lot to the talent that he has. And I'll tell you just in a short while. He has been such a great player, Gago Kiaditu. And this army side, because of the requirements for, as you go back to this, his hands are almost like stretched to try and block that ball. So perhaps maybe, as you put it, maybe for that reason, maybe another referee maybe could have given. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and also it was not in the box, so he should have maybe awarded it to TAFIC as a direct free kick.
He will put the ball down. They've introduced in a midfielder, Kiabetsu Kako, the man that got Kago Chelsea number 11. So he's a player really that's that would be go so go Uganda Seseho Hape. It's a ding-dong kind of passage of play, and Sibanda is brought down and the referee blows the whistle. They'll put the ball in there. There's a requirement for those that have to go into the army in terms of height. There are specifics for the height that one must possess in order to go into the army here. So what they wanted the player, they had to adjust because there's a special dispensation for various reasons. And so because he was bringing in a type of skill and talent, he was able to go in. He plays for the team. He's one of those that are within the army as well. He's an army officer, Gago. So you can see how talent can get open doors that are very difficult to open.
And I'll tell you something that is surprisingly. At the time he was signed for Gaborone United from Green Lovers, it was Dafil, the man on the opposite bench, who signed him from Green Lovers to GU. He believed in him so much.
Free kick, but then again, as we head towards the last 20 minutes or so, TAFIC really have put up their head. They've been able to really ask questions here. And BDF 11 have dealt with the questions very well, but they have been very difficult questions that TAFIC have asked this afternoon.
Indeed, you know, the defense is so solid, and so is Matlou.
Misfiring there by Chivese.
You know, Nelly, not so much about BDF 11, they're not asking many questions. So what they do once they win the ball, they play long because they know Ngube can run. So and they don't have many shots making the entries to support Ngube. That's why when they win the ball, they quickly lose it.
On the bench for BDF 11 as well, Chamlek Butloko. He's a player also who has played so well for BDF 11.
But talking about Chamlet Nelly, I'm told he was one of the good players that BDF has ever had.
Great pass off the ball. Great pass off the ball. Maybe TAFIC would have to change. I know they are chasing the game, they're hard in the game, but maybe they need some slow build-ups in order to break the resolute BDF defense, because you can't fight force with force sometimes. Maybe try and be clever around that box to try and commit them out of that defensive mode.
And that tells you exactly why they brought in Gago, because he's more of a different player. How he plays, he likes the ball, and he can even make those defense-splitting passes to be able to set Ngobe with the goalkeeper, because sometimes, like you're saying, Neil, you can't play one-dimensional.
Chivese, Sibanda, Lekore put it slightly ahead of Chivese, but you can see the idea there, and almost you could feel it among the supporters, really, what a goal could do to them and the atmosphere in the stadium.
You know, talking about that, I've seen it yesterday in Palape when Morupule scored the third goal, how the supporters, they reacted, even the technical bench, including the coaches, they all ran to the goal scorer. So that tells you how that goal meant, because it means that it was closing the game for Morupule.
Sibanda, Hape, can they put that ball in? To be a throw in. And you can see the coach is very worried for TAFIC. He says there's no time to waste. Let's put the ball forward. Let's float it in.
Yeah, they want to keep BDF 11 under pressure, because eventually they will crack. Because Nelly, I can tell you this, you cannot defend the whole time, because it is tiring. At some point you are bound to make mistakes.
It just won't fall for the right man, but clearly they are the ones who are asking the questions. Sibanda, Mozilla, they will chase every ball there. Well done by the men from Lesotho. Mube. No support for him really, Mube. He was all alone there. They took time to come and join him.
As I said, you know, they're not supporting him once he has the ball, but he did not have much choice. He could have tried to take a shot at least.
Chivese! Great save by the goalkeeper. It was Ubusen rather. And Macho, instrumental and very important. And this is why.
And this is the man that we talked about, Nelly Obuteng. The left back for TAFIC has been outstanding. You can even see that he's even going high up and make those attempts. But for me, like I said, even in the build-up, Nelly, Macho will forever be the man for BDF 11.
On an afternoon where they have really asked a lot and lots of the questions, really, you got to say they deserve to get at least something in this game. The atmosphere was right. The occasion has been good. It just lacks the goal for the home team. But then again, BDF deservedly protected what they think is theirs.
And their playing style for BDF 11, it works for them. They play one of the ugliest footballs ever you can find, Nearly. But it's the result that matters most. But for players like Gagu, the style of BDF 11 doesn't suit him. That's why people were crying, especially the supporters, when he left BDF 11, because he was flourishing. Because Gaborone United is one team that is ball playing, and you get to see his abilities.
We had to choose whether Philemon Makwengwe, the coach, is complaining about an elbow that's been used there, and he's talking to the fourth official to say how many fouls are you going to give without putting out your cards. Amazing that out of the 19 or so fouls in the first half, only one yellow card was given out.
It is worrying and questionable at some point, because some of the tackles, they were so questionable that at least they deserved to be bookable.
Chivese, the big boys have gone forward. It's a great ball. Oh, goes under it. It's a chance call. You have to say they had chances, TAFIC. They had chances.
You know, they had chances, and they're playing with the second ball because they've realized that BDF 11, they win almost all the aerial balls, as you can see. But now is the second ball that often you find TAFIC players free. But in that situation, you could have done better and picked the spot, because the power at least was there. Make the keeper safe.
Muzila, he will pump the ball forward to Lukwere, and Makwinika will jealously guard it for a goal kick. And you can see the coach speaking to his players to say, you need more of those balls, keep playing them in, keep floating them in to see what will happen. Eventually they may just give in.
You are right, as the coach is giving instructions, and the instructions is clear. We don't have time to start building from the back. It takes time to reach the final third of the opponent. So rather, let's play long ball and put them under pressure.
Siseho. Muzila. You can see BDF 11, they're taking their time really, trying to eat into that time. They're trying to eat into that time. Easy collection for the keeper, Chivese. Who will say, Sibanda. Sibanda. Plays the ball out. Tries to hack him. Sibanda. Oh, he's a marvel to watch, this Sibanda. He's a marvel to watch.
He is, and you got to enjoy Nelly how TAFIC is playing, especially second half. They are able to rotate the ball side to side and in the middle. So you can see that it's a well-coached team, and the players are responding to the philosophy of the field.
And the foul count keeps mounting for BDF 11. It's a free kick. Do they go for a hard kick, or do they float it in? Do they have the players to deal with the physical challenges in there? We will see. Chivese can say the defense, they will fight with everything that they have, BDF.
They will fight. You know, they will leave everything in the field because they don't want to concede. You know, for the last
it's almost a corner kick. It's a throw in, and you know who's there. Nganda, the lone thrower. Nganda, the low thrower. It bounces off Muzila. Muzila, he flows the ball in. It's a weak one. Matlo will save.
But at least they're trying, and you can see that it's constructive the way they play. Either they play long ball or they got shot on the ground. So you can see, like I said earlier, it's a well-coached team, and you are not surprised when you see the results.
They are mixing it up, TAFIC, combination play, long ball, everything. They've really thrown everything at BDF. I'm surprised at the introduction of Gago in this particular game. I told you about that he's not the kind of player you're going to bring in when you can't be playing the ball, because physically he's not a player who likes to be too physical. Cicero, and it's a handball.
And you speak of Gago, he hasn't gotten much of the ball since he came in. He keeps on chasing, and it's tiring because he needs the ball to his feet to be able to link up with his mates.
It's a free kick. Can they send the bigger boys forward? Yes, they will. Nganda will go there. Khape will go there. Ubuse will go there. Lekore, he'll be there. It needs a nice delivery. Put a spin on it as well to make it difficult for defenders. It's a great ball. It bubbles and just won't fall for a red jersey.
That part reloaded.
Let's go. This is where it's at. This is where all the magic happens.
Right, hori tshwarele jalo ka seo dumela re le gore ba re bankanyetse tare hela ha go siama be le gore re kgonela jalo that it will be the end of this encounter ha gare ga stopper sa TAFIC ga mo go le BDF 11 ba santse ba eteletse pele ka no e lengwe go le fela me gore ba ga ile gore kana go le bega ile gore stopper se sa match menyenga coming into the second half ba tile le gore ba ikaeletse go gore hela I don't know what's happening, they are not clinical. Mihela second half, they're much better than the way they played the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, but I would say I see something that's trying first half. I see they playing the same way. They're making it comfortable for BDF 11. Got those long balls. Yeah, no, it's easy. BDF 11 but the ball didn't see inside the box. BDF didn't say that they are forced to shoot in the situations that are comfortable. The body posture. TAFIC players are immediately for the second ball TAFIC immediately there's somebody there to block. That's why you tell the shots in TAFIC. I think it's to credit for BDF 11. They've defended well, so they are making TAFIC shoot from positions saying they cannot hit Sopasa BDF 11. So it's easy. I was expecting for a second half. TAFIC trying to play in the middle field with short connectors gore ba khone gore ba passe bolo gore ba khone gore ba phatlakanye le gare la BDF 11, but in the central zones ha ba irialo. Now they are going long gore ba tshameka bolo e leng gore ne ba ka gongwe neng ka rene ba ka e tshameka go setse 10 minutes ya no just to go tsenya dibolo mo teng, just in case batshameki ba BDF 11 ba nne mentally fatigued ba khona go ira those errors ka ena nako e tereng gantsi bakatisi ba kwana ba ibitsa ba re concentration time. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just too easy for BDF 11.
And BDF 11, you know, what even makes it more easier is the fact that they're used to leading 1-0. Like, good leading 1-0 is not a problem. The first minute, ba defender 1-0
yeah, and also o bona ka eleng gore ba dirile di block tsa bone ka teng ene ba move sentle ka tsona gona go bona gore le bolo ga ya ko left thing, they move nicely to the left ba le ka gore ba bloke di bolo tsa batshameki ba setlhopha sa TAFIC, and it makes it more difficult because ga gona di space di petse leng gore setlhopha sa TAFIC now ba ka re ba le ka gore ba tshamekele mo go tsone. So you have to give credit to setlhopha sa BDF 11 for just trying so hard gore ba minimize di space tse leng gore gongwe TAFIC e ka leka go dira yone those short passing mo go yone. And you look at even the substitutions tse leng gore di dirile on the side of BDF 11 botlhe ba ba tseneng ke batho ba leng gore dumela gore they have to add up on attack, but o se tsontse bona ile gore nako e ntsi ba iphitlhela ile gore they are just behind the ball ba le ka go tswala di space ko morago gore setlhopha sa TAFIC ba ska nna le joy epe ya go le ka gore ba phasallane bolo ba senke an equalizer.
Right, o bona jalo gore almost 3 minutes or so to go, that is before referee's optional time gore motshameko o a bo tabukhutong sa ile gore wa go tabukhutong ka tselentseng jalo setlhopha sa ra gore setlhopha sa BDF 11 ba tabo ba tswela jalo setlhopha sa TAFIC go ya jalo ko spot number 3 ba tabo ba ira jalo 21 points, no 18 points, not 21, 18 points. Me setlhopha sa TAFIC bone ba ta sala ba ntse ba eme ba ya ko spot number 4 milgale a re kgabaganyetsa ka ko Francistown Council Stadium go garela jalo motshameko wa setlhopha sa Machiminyenga le Matebele.
He's been with the team. Remember last season he was even recalled to save them from the relegation, and they went on to win the promotions.
And so that long ball again once more. It will be another throw in, and he will remain there for that throw. So he throws in the ball there. The goalkeeper saves. It's a throw-in, and I can tell you they will throw everything. What can they do? Countdown. We are waiting to see just how many minutes are going to be added in this game. So it looks like there'll be plenty of time for TAFIC to try and steal it right at the death. A rare miscatch by the goalkeeper there. Other than that, he's done very well, really. He's played very well. Sibanda Chivese, an opportunity. He fires in a shot. Great one. 5 minutes of added time. Dishaba there trying to get something
You know, you speak about jersey number 7, Dichaba, and Sibanda. These are the two players that they were brought in second half who has done exceptionally well in terms of asking questions for TAFIC. But as you can see from that ball, he took on a good shot, but he just missed the target by an inch. But like I said, Nelly, they've played so well. They asked a lot of questions. They were unfortunate to just put one ball into the back of the net.
Another of the many fouls that's been given this afternoon. They have done everything that they could, TAFIC, but they could not get the goal they wanted. Kiabese plays the ball in. And now you can see they're hurrying everything, and the coach is not really pleased. I'm sure he'll be disappointed with the score, but in terms of the play and what his players gave him, the coach, he can only be too happy, really.
Of course, he will be worried by the fact that he will get the first loss at home. But in terms of how they played so brilliant. And you can see that it's a team that is well drilled and well oiled, and you cannot be surprised to find them where they are on the lock.
It's a difficult pitch for most ball-playing teams, really. Sibanda flows the ball in. It's a great ball. Majola hovering around there, trying to get something out of it. And they will go in again. We are into the 3rd minute of the 5 that have been added on. Chivese leaves it behind him. You could see the crowd so high in expectancy.
They are disappointed, but I understand what he was trying to do because he's the right-footed player.
Great opportunity once more.
Great opportunity.
He hits that ball hard, that's a goal.
He should have tried to play it on the far post, not on the near post.
Nganda, the captain.
Good delivery into the box.
Look at that.
And how he jumps over the defenders. Try to put it on the far post.
Macho into the last 2 minutes now, in which they need to come back and get something out of this game. They will pump it forward. There's no time to waste. Muzila. He was dangerously tackled, and the referee will blow for a foul in a game characterized by so many of those fouls.
He was late tackle indeed. But the referee hasn't given a lot of cards, especially to BDF 11 players.
Can they send the whole crowd into a wild celebration here? Delivers a great ball, easily dealt with by the BDF 11 defense. They've done so well this afternoon, really. It would be heartbreaking if they were to concede when they had worked so hard for this win.
They've always been strong defensive. And with the aerial balls, that's one of their specialties. They're strong.
Gako. It's a long ball to the tired. Ngube trying to work it out. They are all looking at the referee.
You know, Nelly, that was a good ball from Gago, but the only thing that he could have done better was not to play it on the side, put it forward so that he can run straight to the goal.
And so the referee blows the whistle. Bakang, we can say BDF 11 have won this match, but TAFIC really won our hearts. They played out, they did everything they could do. They could not be successful this afternoon, but I'm sure the coach may not be happy about the scoreline, but he can definitely be happy about the boys' play and just how much they gave him this afternoon.
And losing at home in front of a fully packed stadium, that is disappointing. But on the other hand, when you look at it, the performance that was dished by the players, it was enterprising football. As for BDF 11, we talked about it during the game that if you allow them to score you first, it will always be difficult to score them because they are so organized defensively, and how they are structured, they always try to be intact from the back.
The full-time score, TAFIC not, BDF 11-1. And so, to round off a beautiful weekend on this Super Sunday, this is how the two teams would have played today. It was an end-to-end stuff, a game in which TAFIC were the ones who were much more asking of the questions. And in this game, we have talked about it. It's a game in which the hunter became the hunted. And now, very, very, very key to their survival, BDF 11, and their quest to try and be there with the bigger boys. They collect 3 points, and they'll be very happy.
They'll be very happy, Nelly, to get 3 points away from home. And it's one thing that we've also talked about. They will not score a lot of goals. They will easily score 1 goal and make sure that they close the shop. And that's what they did so well today. But as for TAFIC, they can take this loss on a positive note to say we have created a lot of chances, we have asked a lot of questions. The only thing that was a downfall was not putting the ball into the back of the net.
And so it's been that kind of a game really that had lots and lots of chances, but only 1 goal to show for it. It's been a great game of football, perhaps not with many goals, but there were a lot of talking points in this game. Lot more to take and a lot more to enjoy by the supporters, and the stats can confirm it. BK, look at the number, look at the count for fouls.
21 fouls and 2 cards given to BDF 11, but look at the ball possession, 60 to TAFIC. It was the show for TAFIC second half, and look at the corners for TAFIC. It tells you that they were asking questions, and you look at BDF 11, 0 corners. That tells you from the statistics point of view that BDF 11, they were not asking so many questions, but it was the show for TAFIC in the second half. Neil.
In total, about 28 fouls, in which only 2 warranted a yellow card. It has been that kind of a game really. Like we said it, BDF 11, they've won this game, they've won the points, and TAFIC can be happy to say they've won our hearts. It's been that kind of a game really here at the stadium. And so now this is how it ends here at the stadium, with BDF taking all the points.
And we come to the end of the game in that
Stapasa Matebele ba irahela jaaka ba ntse ba taba ira mo metshamekong e hitileng ba inusetsa nno le nngwe hela e leng gore e hela go phelong ya letsatsi ba neela jalo phenyo ba fentse Stapasa Machiminyeng ka nno le nngwe go lefela to go on sport number 3 e batola jalo Stapasone seo e le sa TAFIC. Benny, I'm unfortunately running out of time, but shortly can you wrap up today's encounter?
It was bravery versus resilience. So BDF 11 ended up resilience displaying, reflecting go technical team mo pati thuma ka defense but dira se le gore ntse ba se dira the whole season keeping clean sheets.
KK, wrap up week 9.
Yeah, I think week 9 overall result e leng gore tla tsamantse re bua ka ene Morupile Wanderers finally getting that win over setlhopha sa Orapa United. Scoring 3 for that matter. And Haro Alebella, Orapa United haven't really been consistent in terms of the results. So Kidumela Hore, not expected, but Batata Mabaru Ipankanya and looking at setlhopha sa Holy Ghost, Ntsiribuaka Sone Gwanana.
Holy Ghost lock standing. Me just wrap up week 9's results. 11 Angels 1, Matabele 1, Township plus 1, South Flamingo 0, Police 11 0, Gabriel United 4, Masitaka 1, VTM 0, Morupule 3, Orapa United 1, Nico United 1, Holy Banyana 2, Masila Humpeko TAFIC 0, BDF 11 1. Thank you so much for your time, Benny.
Thank you, Miss Kim.
Thank you so much for your time, KK. Right. Mothatsu are ga re dithilaganya tsa rona tsa mahelo beke ano tsa tshamekang ka tsela e ntseng jalo thilaganya tse di tsa kwa gape di bua mo baking e tang go tswa mo lekoko lotlhe le ne le go tsisetsa thilaganya tsa tsela gompieko le tele tsepele jalo ke bata metse tantshipi e le ene mo tsamaisi mogolo wa thilaganyo mo rilaganyo mogolo wa yone ne le segola me bayeng, and of course the lady in the driving seat, Miss K, it is a rapper.